I think eventually, if men start talking enough, you become red pill. That's just the truth. Like any man who's honest and like sees things clearly, you become a red pill piece of. It just is what it is. What? If you're honest about the way it is, that's just how it goes. I didn't want to be that. Like I want to respect and fall. Like at my core, I'm a romantic, bro. I want to fall in love, hold hands, do all that cute bullshit. But it's not possible. They will abuse you until you're weak and then leave you.
One thing I need to make clear to all the young men that are watching this, no matter how much affection, no matter how much love, no matter how many long paragraphs you write for her, no matter how many times you show her off, no matter how many times you spoil her, you buy her shit, you make her feel special, you give her the biggest ego boost, you make her feel like she's a queen. No matter what you do, if that girl does not genuinely care about you, she don't love you, she will never feel that way about you. You can't change how somebody feels about you. It's that simple.
Toxic women destroy good men too. But we barely talk about that.
Fire for your mind. The kosher clinician.
Remember those days, those L's, I couldn't sleep right now. I get paid, vacay, I'm staying B-side. Breaking the blues over steak, I gotta eat right. You could be my peace sign. I don't need that energy around me. I just need sun, you're so cloudy. I wake up good, you're so grouchy. Please get from around me. When the truth don't work, you start telling lies. Thought you were down to ride, you weren't down to ride. Caught switching, you were picking sides. Don't blink, caught slipping like a slip and slide. I was shooting dice till I got a nosebleed. Money on the floor, can't get cold feet. Took a L, should've put it in the offering. Lord, forgive me for my sins, don't know of me. Scary thoughts, I got scary thoughts. Lost control, now I'm taking charge. Breaking bills, friends breaking off. You could be the youngest, I'm the dawn. Kiss the ring, nah. In the scene like GOT. Stay awake, don't sleep. Like Jon Snow, get R.I.P. Remember those days, those L's, I couldn't sleep right now. I get paid, vacay, I'm staying B-side. Breaking the blues over steak, I gotta eat right. You could be my peace sign. I don't need that energy around me. I just need sun, you're so cloudy. I wake up good, you're so grouchy. Please get from around me. Just me, myself, and I'm my favorite threesome. The cars I drive by, I never lease them. They say if you can't beat them, then you join them. That's no option, I don't join, I always beat them. I was fake, you had to find me. Now I'm on beat, skating like I'm grinding. L hit me, said it's all about the timing. If you want the vision, get to spinning. My mama told me trust in God, it's never limits. Now I'm on the scoreboard, running up the digits. I put in work, you know I'm up to get it. Early bird gets the worm and the Yankee fitted. Like, whoa, bags under my eyes and you know. Won't complain, I'm tired, I'm on go. For that grip, 10 toes till they swole. For that grip, 10 toes till they swole. Remember those days, those L's, I couldn't sleep right now. I get paid, vacay, I'm staying B-side. Breaking the blues over steak, I gotta eat right. You could be my peace sign. I don't need that energy around me. I just need sun, you're so cloudy. I wake up good, you're so grouchy. Please get from around me. I was starving, now I'm eating till my belly full. From up north, we get cold, you need a heavy coat. Scared to end up on a shirt before a centerfold. Devil on my back, target on me, belly too. Play the keys, don't tweet. It's not peace, don't speak. 24, no sleep. This is real, no tweet. My bros for life, can't break this link. Family on my side, baby stay around me. I don't want no combo, I want checks. I don't want the second, I want this. I'm all in my head, swear I'm a wreck. I've been moving like a hot mess. I don't want no combo, I want checks. I don't want the second, I want best. I'm all in my head, sway, I'm a wreck. I've been moving like a hot mess. Want that combo, better know you'll need a check from me. Can pay to play, the sun is still won't get a cent from me. I mix the fit up with the side like it's a remedy. I mix it up inside the pot, watch it drip while it drop. Time to take it to the top. Chips all in the middle like it fall, no I won't flop. We gon' pop like a soda can top. To me this is nothing, call my bluff and I won't stop when I flex. I don't want no combo, I want checks. I want the checks, yeah. I don't want the second, I want best. I want best, yeah. By any means, that's a triple threat. A triple threat. Yeah, this is getting bigger, I might flex. I don't want no combo, I want checks. I don't want the second, I want best. I'm all in my head, swear I'm a wreck. I've been moving like a hot mess. I don't want no combo, I want checks. I don't want the second, I want best. I'm all in my head, swear I'm a wreck. I've been moving like a hot mess. I hit recorded drop, you can't ignore it. I'm transforming now these cars and planes, I'm always boarding. Just out touring down in Charlotte like I play for Hornets. When I'm performing, never boring, now you can't afford it. Champagne Perrier, finished friends on my face. Looking like I'm from the deep, these no Cartiers. Pockets deep, bro. I can make it in my seat, bro. Do you, I'm doing me, bro. Making noise, use a peak, bro. Whoa. I press the button and the doors go off like that money clip us now, the new now looks like upgrade her diamonds, now her girlfriends are like whoa. Neighborhood on the scene, neighborhood on the strip, neighborhood be the name, neighborhood no crib, neighborhood that's me, neighborhood that's Nick, neighborhood do the dance, neighborhood do the dip. Okay, thought I'd never make it like no way. I'm the real deal, no role play. My days off, that's no days. No, I hustle hard, young rose. E be the shooter, that's cold case. Those on the deals, that's brose. Got no pay, yo, no say. Okay, this the news, tell them read it. Been the one since the fetus. Don't sleep on me, Tempur-Pedic. That's a no. Spending dope for no reason. Got a ball head, Mr. Cleaner. Heard the big bags overseas, then we gon' go. Whoa, I press the button and the doors go off like that money clip us now, the new now looks like upgrade her diamonds, now her girlfriends are like whoa. I press the button and the doors go off like that money clip us now, the new now looks like upgrade her diamonds, now her girlfriends are like whoa. Tunnel vision when I hit the holly. Working on that cause my mind is on an island. Told my babies I'll be homeless, so don't stay up. Breaks my heart to see them sad, so I won't wait up. Need it all that's mine, I need it now. I lost my patience the same week I lost my smile. My baby pressed me, said I'm acting like a child. I took some L's, can lie, that really brought me down. I'm so antisocial, but I guess it's type selective. Swear I'll make a change, but for now I just can't help it. Only trusting God and these scars that I've been dealt with. I'ma do my job, time to grind, time to know. They know, 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 they know. Pedal to the metal, they know. Gone and I won't let up, they know. I'm not so fed up, they know. Save for the they know. They know, they know, they know, yeah, they know. Pedal to the metal, they know. I'm not so fed up, they know. Why you never sign? You sign when you go live. Stuck inside that bubble, never ever go outside. You don't know you know computers, you're a tech guy. Back against a wall, you gon' fall or you gon' ride. I feel the pressure, foot to the pedal. My dogs, they fed up, my squad won't let up. Those sneakers CDG, hot on step on. My money yoga, the way it stretch on. I change locations to change the weather. Know when that rain come, got my umbrella. And when my day come, my name gon' stay up. Yeah, I know, I know, I know. Pedal to the metal, they know. Gone and I won't let up, they know. I'm not so fed up, they know. Say it for the record, they know. They know, they know, they know. Yeah, they know. Pedal to the metal, they know. I'm not so fed up, they know.
I think eventually, if men start talking enough, you become red pill. That's just the truth. Like any man who's honest and like sees things clearly, you become a red pill piece of. It just is what it is. If you're honest about the way it is, that's just how it goes. I didn't want to be that. Like I want to respect and fall. Like at my core, I'm a romantic, bro. I want to fall in love, hold hands, do all that cute bullshit. But it's not possible. They will abuse you until you're weak and then leave you.
One thing I need to make clear to all the young men that are watching this, no matter how much affection, no matter how much love, no matter how many long paragraphs you write for her, no matter how many times you show her off, no matter how many times you spoil her, you buy her shit, you make her feel special, you give her the biggest ego boost, you make her feel like she's a queen. No matter what you do, if that girl does not genuinely care about you, she don't love you, she will never feel that way about you. You can't change how somebody feels about you. It's that simple.
Toxic women destroy good men too. But we barely talk about that.
I told you guys in the past that many don't believe that the fat meat is greasy. The fat meat is greasy is synonymous to the ideal and the concept that many don't believe that many men are beginning to walk away. Many men are beginning to walk away because they're seeing the modernized mania that's more or less been impacted by so many modern women. And because of that, that modernized mania is the antithesis to logical thinking. Here recently in the news, Tichina Arnold and Cam Newton more or less professed what many men were talking about. As relating to Cam Newton talked about what his love was, his ideals, and more or less his preference was as he talked about modern women and what he don't want in a relationship because he came from a nuclear intact family. But to parrot that, teacher Anna Ali also talked about that what could black women do to stop emasculating black men. And you would have thought that many women would have came together to show her love and support, but many did not come together to show her love and support. Many came and castigated teacher Anna Ali for more or less giving credence to knowing that there are or there is issues in our community that more or less impact black men. You see, when people don't seek to understand and more or less understand the struggles of black men and all men begin to suffer in silence, which in essence make them become apathetic. But before we talk about apathy, teacher Anna Arnold, Cam Newton, I want to send a warm welcome and a warm thank you to all the people that have been supporting me and sponsoring me on this journey. I want to thank Nice Sometime, as he was a sponsor last week for the $100 super chat. I want to thank James Miles for a $100 super chat and the $50 that he gave me last night. And I also want to thank Corey Hager. He's been excellent with helping me. You know, I really appreciate my brother Corey from Oregon. He donated last night and also in the past for lunch. I'm forever grateful. And also, I'm forever grateful for Luke Kaiser. Luke Kaiser, you are an awesome woman, an awesome person. And I really appreciate everything you do, Luke Kaiser, as it relates to helping me more or less push this agenda and push this message about male empowerment, as male empowerment relates to the unification of good men and good women that are seeking normalcy in these very turbulent times. But back to point. Because of this modernized mania, many men are beginning to say, what am I getting in modern relationships when there are women that see black men as nothing but ATMs or more or less not worthy of honor and respect? We're going to explore this psychic soul train or the dynamics associated to and with what Cam Newton said, what Tichina Arnold said, and also the negative thinking with so many modern women. Sit back, relax, and enjoy this show as I bring it to you live from the greatest state in the union, the Tar Heel State. And I need you guys to remember this is their 7 steps to male optimization. If it ain't 7, it ain't kosher. If it ain't kosher, it ain't right. The question remains today is this: is modernized mania reducing the logic of good men and good women as it relates to them getting the best outcomes that they desire? You decide. All right, guys, we're about to chop it up in a minute. And I want to thank you guys for being so generous with your love, time, and support. Also, shout out to James Miles, and shout out to James Turner. James Turner has been an excellent donor on this show and also on the panel in the past. James Miles, thank you, my Leo brother, for what you did last week. Also, I want to thank the Narc Perspective. When he's given Top Gun, MC Recovering Wellness, and many others that I've missed, I'm forever grateful for what you guys have done as it relates to helping, black men and black women get the best outcomes they want. Now, as you guys know, my channel is dedicated mostly to the empowerment of black men. And accordingly, there are times, guys, that we come together to empower those women that are willing to understand where men are coming from. But see, as I told you guys before in the past, there's a condition called collaborative empiricism. And collaborative empiricism basically means this: when you present people with the evidence, they do one or two things. They either take the evidence and learn from it and use it to help them become better, or they take the evidence and refute it and become delusional in their thinking. It appears that many modern women have more or less begun to exhibit delusional thinking, which is a byproduct of delusional behavior. And see, we can't form a more perfect union as it relates to keeping our communities intact if there are so many guys that have this byproduct of negative thinking. Now, if you guys have not seen what I've done last week, go check out the show I did with Black Ram. It was a great show last night. Salute to Black Ram and his people. But back to point. What does it mean, guys, men and women, but mostly my men, what does it mean to deal with modernized women? Tichina Arnold was a woman that was advocating for the advocacy of black men. And she said, what can we do to stop emasculating black men? And Tichina Arnold was met with a lot of disdain. She was met with a lot of shaming language. And she was met with many things that more or less many would have thought that would have been beneficial to the black man, the black family, and also the black community. And listen, we understand that the issues that are confronting us in these modern times, it's not just a black man issue. White men are dealing with some of the same issues as well. They're dealing with the ravages of radical feminism and how it's more or less impacting them in a negative way. And so, you know, what you guys are beginning to see now is logic on one end versus modernizations on the other end. And as you see on one end, I got Cam Newton and Tichina Arnold, but then on the other end, we got, Jada Pinkett Smith and Meg Thee Stallion. And see, so many have the mindset of Meg Thee Stallion and Jada Pinkett, which is a byproduct of, guys, the spirit of the hyena. Yeah, yeah. It's the spirit of the hyena, something that many modern women have. Because, you know, I never thought of it like this until my good friend, I talked to my good friend, Top Gun. But, you know, many don't see themselves as inclusive of the Black experience of the Black male struggle. They see themselves as separate entities of the Black community and the Black struggle, not understanding that Black men and Black women at one point were mules of the same cause. And see, when you have this fragmentation, guys, with Black men and Black women, what it does, it causes a scourge in society. And that scourge, more or less, is causing a lot of men to become very apathetic, and they're dealing with so many modern women to the point that they're walking away. Now, I want to read some of the comments. And guys, thank you, and get the likes up. Share this content. Share the content. I appreciate you guys for everything that you guys are doing. Please share the content because, guys, it's time to take this thing to the next level. All right. So I want to ask the question, and you're right, Arnold Best. He said the feminism is the scourge on earth, and you're correct. Many men feel that way because it's causing more disenfranchisement than it is causing unity. This disenfranchisement and this modernized thinking, guys, is causing a lot of nebulous thoughts. Many modern women have their head in the clouds, synonymous to the picture on the wall. Their heads are in the clouds. And because their heads are in the clouds, their heads in the clouds is a byproduct of very nebulous thinking and very delusional thinking. Men are looking for women that can come together and help them become better versions of themselves. But when we live in a culture where we don't more or less consider the pain and the hurt of many modern men and the things that they are going through, then once again, as I said earlier, how can we form a more perfect union? What can we learn, guys, once again, about Cam Newton and Tichina Arnold? What can we learn about Cam Newton and Tichina Arnold? What can we learn about it? What have you guys thought about Cam Newton and Tichina Arnold? I want you to put your comments in the questions, or put your comments inside the comments box. But what have you guys thought about Cam Newton and Tichina Arnold, as they were both more or less giving their points of view? Cam Newton was more or less talking about the power of a traditional woman because he was raised in a traditional family. Tichina Arnold was talking about the emasculation. But when you see the antithesis to Cam Newton, you have what's called Jada Pinkett Smith, which more or less put her husband in a predicament where he's now going to deal with the shame of trying to defend a dishonorable woman. But also, he's got banned for the Oscars from 10 years. You guys saw it on the media. You guys saw it on camera where she was laughing at Will Smith. She was mocking Will Smith. And that in itself is a form of emasculation. With the Red Table experience, she more or less threw him under the bus. And see, you know, when God show you the evidence, good ladies, to the good ladies that are listening, when God show you the evidence, then that's a man that's suffering in silence and is trying to deal with the things that are bothering him mentally. But see, when nobody respond or more or less care to understand the struggles of a man, then what happens over a period of time, that man begins to implode. And that implosion leads to an explosion. So I want to read some of the comments, guys. And guys, get the likes up, and shout out to my man D for that $5 super sticker. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it, D. D said you're a fellow clinician here. Society is perpetuating and legitimizing histrionic narcissistic behavior. I totally agree, brother. And it's a byproduct of a personality disorder. And, you know, histrionic personality disorder many times is an excessive need of attention. And see, you guys are beginning to see it mostly with a lot of our modern women. And even though narcissistic personality disorder is a trait that's mostly seen in men, many of our modern women, guys, have narcissistic tendencies. They might not be bona fide narcissists, but they do have narcissistic tendencies, which in essence is the antithesis to a more perfect union. But what do you guys think about this Cam Newton and Tichina Arnold situation? What do you guys think about it? What do you guys think about her advocating for Black men and the emasculation of Black men? And why do you guys feel like in situations like that, many times these women are met with ire instead of met with congratulations? I want some of you guys to answer that question. What do you guys think about it? Because it appears that there's a lot of issues going on in our community, and it's getting worse apparently to some. Shout out to Arnold Best. He said modern women equals feminist, and that's all it means. Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right, brother. And shout out to MC Recovery and Wellness. You welcome. Good looking out. No doubt, brother. Thank you, sir, for everything. There go my man. All right. Shout out to my man, Golden Child 325. Coach Condition, what's going on, brother? How you doing, sir? All right. Yes, dropping that 5 for your mind, big bad bull. And D said, yeah, okay, you hit me with that. And shout out to Patty Cakes. Thank you, Patty Cakes. I appreciate it, dear. Thank you, Patty Cakes, for that $5 super sticker. Patty Cakes said I was not shocked by modern women, westernized women. I was very surprised about how many men not supporting Cam's statement. Yes, and the issue is, Patty Cakes, that you have a lot of men that are simps. They're hyena simps. Yes, they are hyena simps, Patty Cake, because they've been born in a matriarchal culture where they don't understand true masculinity, and they don't understand how masculinity is more or less predicated on principles that lead to empowerment. When men are empowered, then our women are empowered because she understands what that man needs and wants, and it's reciprocated. But see, when she doesn't understand what he needs and wants, then it's empowerment for her, but it's depowerment for him. And so anytime masculine men come together to form a more perfect community and a more perfect union, you always find people trying to sabotage it. And I got some powerful evidence for you guys in a few minutes. But once again, guys, I want to thank you for all the support you guys have been giving. I really appreciate it as we try to grow, as I seek to grow, because as you guys know, content creation it's extremely time consuming. It's draining, but because I love you guys and I want to make sure you guys get the best, I put in work, I put in time, I put in a lot of energy to give you guys quality content, and make sure you guys understand what I'm talking about as it relates to understand the struggles of men in America, black and white, but more specifically, men of color. Now, has the modernized American, because of this modernized thinking, how many of you guys feel very apathetic? How many of you men feel apathetic because of the modernized thinking that you're seeing in so many modern women? Are you men beginning to get apathetic? Are you guys beginning to deal with apathy because of the issues that you're seeing with modernized women? If you're becoming apathetic, I need you to hit 1. I need you guys to hit 1 if you're becoming apathetic to what's going on with modern women and their behaviors. If you're becoming apathetic, man, I need you to hit 1. And although that Beth said that Tichina Arnold is red pill, she sees the degeneration of society. D said Tichina Arnold and Cam would be vilified for going against the grain. Yeah, you're correct. Their viewpoints doesn't support the propaganda machine. It will continue for whoever else speaks out. Yeah, I agree, sadly. I agree with you 100%, D, and it's sad. It's unfortunate. Because, see, this is the thing that Luke Casey saw happen to her country, where people began to speak out, But that's the machine that we're living in now. That's the machine that we're living in now. And when you try to talk and more or less use logic versus modernized thought, you're held under ridicule and you're held under scrutiny. And, Cam is a byproduct of the South. He's a Southern gentleman. That's how he was raised. But, of course, black men, they can't say what they want. Anytime we say what we want, it's misandry. So it's unfortunate, guys. It's unfortunate. Shout out to Golden Child. He said a good portion of American black women support and mimic the attitude of Jada Pinkett Smith while dealing with men. And I agree with you 1,000%. Golden Child 325. Many do have the same characteristics of Jada Pinkett Smith. Many do, or more or less tolerate the men that they're dealing with. Many do or don't see their men or their man as a viable commodity. They just see him as a means to an end. They tolerate him. And I'm going to tell you, men, something. You should never be in a relationship where you're being tolerated versus being loved and honored. You should always want to be in a relationship where you're being loved and honored versus being tolerated, because a tolerated man is not a man of honor and valor. And it's so sad, guys, that I don't see the world ever returning to the place that it used to be in the past. It's become so convoluted now that it's hard to distinguish for so many right and wrong. As I said last night, up is down and down is up. And because of that, guys, we're going to suffer a long term as a culture. Many men are saying that the community is done. Black Ram said he only felt that less than 10%, less than 5.005% were wife worthy or wife ready. He only felt that the remnant was around about 10,000 women. And it's unfortunate, guys, because you got this woman on the left, Tichina Arnold, that's trying to advocate and pose the question, what can we do to reduce the emasculation of black men? Cam Newton was more or less giving his point of view about what he wanted as preference. But then you have women like, Meg Thee Stallion and Jada Pinkett on the right being the iconoclast or the examples of what so many men hate or what so many men don't more or less enjoy or more or less like as it relates to modern women. And that's the world that we're living in, guys. And it does not appear to be on an upward trajectory. It appears to be getting worse. But men are beginning to come together and use logic and reason, because logic is an antithesis to modernized thinking. And I'm gonna tell you guys something. If you continue to be around, people or women or men too, that more or less try to shame you or more or less change how you think, you will become delusional yourself. When you start listening to delusional people, they'll gaslight you, and eventually you'll start believing their delusion. You become a byproduct of their delusional thinking, and you'll start questioning yourself, because those are some of the key tendencies that narcissists employ, which is gaslighting. And they'll get you off your square thinking that what they're saying is right. Green Beret said, I think some women are triggered by Tichina Arnold and Cam's statement because they too feminist too far. The men are dumping and pandering for validation. Yes. Top Gun said the towel has been thrown in. I totally agree, man. It's been thrown in by a lot of people. It's being thrown in, and I think men are beginning to wake up. They're beginning to see things for what it is. And although the best, it's a cult. It's a value system. Ask Crim Secure. Yeah, I think it is a cult. I think it is a cult, guys, and sadly, it's getting worse and worse by the minute. It's getting worse and worse by the minute, because when the remnant speaks out, the remnant is often pushed back into silence. So I want to ask you guys a question before I more or less bring up the videos. Are you guys evolving as modern men? Are you guys beginning to evolve? And if you are evolving, tell me how you began to evolve as it relates to dealing with modern women. Are you beginning to evolve? Are you beginning to see things for what it is? Because the red pill can do one of two things, because the red pill is just a philosophy. Actually, the red pill could be tied to the clinical. In the clinical world, we call it an existentialist crisis. So actually, the red pill and theology, the Bible actually parrots clinical science. We call it an existentialist crisis, where you realize, what's my purpose? Why am I here? And now what I'm going to do about it. So how have you men evolved as it relates to the modernized mania of so many modern women? How are you men beginning to evolve? How are you men beginning to see things as it is? Has that evolution caused you more pain, or has that evolution caused you more freedom? I want you guys to talk about it. How are you men beginning to evolve as you begin to see things for what it is? Share your comments in the comments section. And once again, guys, I need at least 5 people to share this stream. Share this stream with at least 5 people. Help the channel grow. You guys have been doing awesome thus far. But when I get 5 people to share this stream, I need you guys to hit 1. At least 5 people. Share the stream. Let's get the likes up. And let's continue to empower good men and good women that are trying to change in these turbulent times, because the storm is coming. And what are you going to do when the storm arises at your door? Because many people don't see it. Marriage rates are dropping. And I get it. Marriage is not for every woman. So, if some of the women that are listening don't believe in marriage, we're not talking about you. Stay single, have fun, do you. But to the women that want community, to the women that want family, to the women that want to see a more perfect union, even though I don't think it's going to exist in our lifetime as it relates to community, then I tell you women, the remnant, to get with the men that are honorable and righteous and help those men become the better versions of themselves. Shout out to my man D. He said, evolving in this current landscape lends to the continued deterioration of the family, culture, and forward progress. Thank you, sir. And I agree with you 1,000% for that $5 super stick. Bobby, right. Man, I'm always asking deep questions. Corey said, I've evolved into an independent man, independent from drama. He said, I'm free. And that's what a lot of men are looking for, Corey. A lot of men are beginning to look for freedom. They're beginning to look for freedom of thought, mind, and also freedom of spirit, because men need freedom when they're frustrated and angry and hurt. And although that Beth said that evolution has led me to be more careful when dealing with hyena tactics, it showed me that eventually, if I wait, the women will circle back. Excellent points. All right. We talk about modernized thinking, and I don't know how many guys you went to college that are listening. So many guys have went to college, but if you guys have went to college, what have you guys learned about the modernization or more or less the tendencies of most modern thinking? Some of you guys went to university like I did. I went to a very liberal school, but a good school. And even though I love my university, some of the thoughts were more liberal, but that's That's most schools now, very liberal. But I want you guys to talk about, have you ever been seduced by liberal thinking? Have you men been seduced by the tenets of liberal thinking? If you have been seduced, tell me what it's done to you mentally. Have you been on your trajectory with moving forward, guys? But more or less now you have been seduced by liberal thinking. If you have been seduced by liberal thinking, tell me what you think about it. Have you been more or less seduced by the delusion of modernized thinking? And tell me what it's done to you mentally. All right. So shout out to my man. Hold tight, me. I'm trying to do like 5 things at one time, guys. Shout out to Corey Hager. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Thank you, Corey, man. Thank you, Corey. And that is a deal, right? Corey been showing a lot of love, man. I appreciate it, man. And that is a deal right for that $50 PayPal, man. I appreciate it, sir. Corey, thank you, sir, for your kind and generous donation, man. You're a good man. I appreciate it, man. Thank you, Corey. It's your work, it's your donations and your sacrifices that give me the courage and the power and the tenacity to fight forward. When you guys donate, it gives me, it invigorates me. Well, I'm gonna do it anyway, but it does invigorate me because, as I said earlier, these shows are time consuming and it is a lot of work. But so, Corey, once again, sir, thank you for your kindness. I really appreciate it. And to everyone else that's given D and everyone else tonight, I appreciate it, guys. But back to point. So I asked the question, how has modernized thinking impacted you? Bobby Wright said, basically, I understood my values and what to prioritize as far as of what it is a value in life in order I seek said values. I don't know what that means, but yeah, I see your point, Bobby, to some degree. Anecdote at best said that I was completely unaware of the red pill in undergrad. My school was religious and so was spared from a great deal of liberalism, no doubt. And D said not necessarily seduced, but imposed upon by leaving many uncomfortable and unable to express themselves in a healthy manner. Kudos to you, D, for doing that because, Dr. Wim Glasser, guys, as I always talked about, as the show talked about earlier on, that power, fun, and freedom are the antecedents to helping a man become better. When a man is getting his needs met as it relates to fun, power, freedom, survival, and belonging, then that man can evolve and become the better version of himself. And so, that's why it's so important for men. Corey Hager said that I was under the influence of liberal thinking as a young man. Today at 51, I'm not so easily moved. Thank you, sir. And thank you again, Corey, for that generous and that very kind donation of yours. But Corey, when you get a minute, tell me how liberal thinking impacted you. How did liberal thinking impact you, Corey Hager, in the past? How did it impact you in the past? How did it impact you? Because, see, modernized thinking, guys, will have you thinking that you're crazy. Modernized thinking will have you thinking that what you're thinking about is wrong. Modernized thinking will have you thinking that you got to continue to defer your power instead of demanding anything. And that's why so many men, when we begin to speak out, the logical and the very conscious men, they're actually shamed into silence or attempted to be shamed into silence because people don't want to hear what they're trying to say. And I'm going to ask you guys another question. Do you guys feel that modernized thinking is a byproduct of delusional thinking? And I personally would say yes. I think that modernized thinking is a byproduct of delusional thinking. Do you guys feel that modernized thinking is a byproduct of delusional thinking? If you believe so, hit 1. I think it is. Reba Ray said there was a point in time when I was seduced to a point by liberalism. It would degenerate your masculinity. You have to rebuild yourself if it goes too far. And sadly, I agree with that. Corey said that liberal thinking stole my peace and blessings, right? And I think it steals a lot of men. But men are beginning to wake up. Men are beginning to get their heads out of the clouds of modernized thinking and modernized mania. Men are beginning to get their heads out of the clouds. They're beginning to love themselves. They're beginning to look outside themselves and look for other men with support to help them become the better versions of themselves. And that's why I do what I do, guys, because I want to see you men liberated. I want to see you men get the best outcomes that can help you become the better versions of yourselves. Now, I'm going to put up a link, guys. Gentile killer said the bald-headed beast from Baltimore. He must be talking about Jada. You funny, man. D said the word, yes. Can you talk about the power of groupthink? Right. So that's a good question. And so that's a good question, D. The power of groupthink is a condition, D, that many times you see among our women, because women by nature are nurturers, and women tend to do things in groups. And because of the group thinking, a lot of times, what it does, it can arrest the development of women that know that what the group is saying is wrong, but for fear of social isolation, many times they curtail to that group think. It takes very strong women like the Shalakina Moffats of the world, the Chantel Simones, to speak out, because women by nature are like a herd. They like herders. They herd together. They get together. And when they get together, many times they try to more or less, they influence one another. But sadly, so many of our women have been so influenced by groupthink that they don't have the logic, or they don't have the intestinal fortitude to speak out. And because they're not speaking out, then what happens many times, it's causing a lot of pain and hurt for so many. The world is so upside down, what I call topsy-turvy now, that even logical, righteous men and women that try to speak out, they're trying to shame you into silence. That's why we have to band together. That's why we have to work together. That's why we have to come together. That's why good sisters like Tichina Ali, that understand what's going on in society, need to continue. We need to support women like them, because women that are trying to do the right thing, guys, they get a lot of scrutiny. They get a lot of pushback. Shalakimia talked about a lot of scrutiny she got. And so many other women talk about the scrutiny when they come together and try to form a more perfect union. And it's sad, guys. It's sad and it's unfortunate. Shout out to KP from KC5. He said they love to do brunches and all that jazz. Have you noticed how extravagant the baby showers have become? Baby showers are a mini wedding, right? Because see, there was a time, KP from KC5, when women were group thinkers, but it was about groupthink as it relates to the community and their husbands. But now groupthink is about individualism. I'm gonna ask you guys a question. You guys tell me what you think. Do you think most modern women, or some of our modern sisters, not all, shout out to the good sisters, shout out to the good sisters that are trying to do the right thing. I like to always encourage the good sisters. But do you think, guys, or what percentage of Black women do you feel think about Black women first before they think Black community, Black boys, Black girls, Black children, Black families? What percentage of our women do you guys feel are Black woman first versus Black family, Black community, Black girls, or Black boys? I want you guys to give me a number real quick. Because many are saying that they tend to think about themselves, and I got the evidence to prove it. I got the evidence to prove it as I break down these videos. Yes, sir. As Bobby Wright says, shout out to the genuine women. Yes, I totally agree. Gregory Scotland said, growing up in the late 60s and 70s, that was when modern pragmatism philosophy entered greatly into our schools. Yet it helped. It helped that my father and mother lived in the real world mentally. Yes, sir. Thank you. Anadole Best said the Crimson Cure is the Shahrazad incarnate. When you finally view her content, your mouth open. Yeah, I've seen her content before, Anadole Best. I've seen it. She does good work. Good work. She does very good work. Wow. KP from KC5 said he felt that 90% think Black woman first. Bobby Wright said he thinks it's 55 to 65%. Top Gun said that 94%. D said that so-called Black women, females are their own race now. Yeah. Yeah, I said it. And then he said 95% with the other five content knowing that they are outcasts. Right. And so the good women are trying to make changes. They are outcasts. See, what the hyena simps does is it's based on a matriarchal system. And what it does, it produces hyena beta males. And what it does, the hyena spirit, what it does, it excludes masculine men, but also what it does, it excludes very feminine women. And so the feminine women are like the lioness of the pride, because the lioness seek to aggrandize the lion. And the masculine lion always leads the pack. But in the hyena clans, the matriarchal hyena leads the clan, and those goofy hyena simps, they follow the hyena, sadly. And that's what you guys have now. You got a bunch of hyena simps. You got a bunch of hyena simps that people are following. Shout out to my man, XL Pro. XL Pro has also been very generous in his donation with the $5 super sticker that I got last night. I appreciate it, XL Pro. Let me also read out my man, James Miles. Thank you, James Miles, last night. Some of you guys donated last night. I appreciate it. Hold tight. Let me read some of these out real quick. XL Pro, thank you, sir. Gregory Scotland, thank you, sir. Gregory Scotland always showing love. Christopher Lewis last night, and once again, James Miles, and also Donald Carroll. So I really appreciate you guys. And, you know, XL Pro is always showing a lot of brothers love. That's a brother that I see all over these spaces, showing love and giving to people. And XL Pro, for that, brother, I'm forever honored and I'm forever grateful, because it helps me and other male content creators continue to go forward, because content creation, guys, it is extremely time consuming. To the point, guys, it's draining. It can be very draining at times, but all for the love of the brotherhood, I do what I do. Clement Gray said that 90% kosher, that's the last 10% of them are too busy vacuuming carpets and mopping hardwood floors, too busy trying to be a man, right? And then Anadol at best said Maggles, aka Hyena Simps, accurate to the hyena foolishness. I totally agree. Green Beret said that 80%, but 10% jump back and forth due to peer pressure. Right. Bobby Wright said he don't think it's that bad, but it's headed that way. Bob, I think it's worse than that, but I'm glad you're optimistic. Gerard Orela said, Kosher, do you remember the sister soldier? What happened to her? Well, they ran her off. They were hitting her so hard. Gerard Orela, that Sister Soldier had to back down because it was too much pressure. It was too much pressure on Sister Soldier when she began to speak out. And because of that, Sister Soldier, she backed down. When you get the kind of vitriol that she got, because she reminds me of Shalakimi a little bit, she had to back down. So guys, get the likes up. Once again, I'm going to share this stream. I'm share this information. Guys, thank you for listening on tonight, on this Sunday. Hold tight. And we're gonna chop up some game. Hold tight. All right, so I'm gonna break down a compilation, guys, that I have. I got a compilation I'm gonna break down. And I want you guys to tell me what you all think,
she was Pam on Martin. She was the mother.
I want you guys to tell me what you think. And this is fair use. Shout out to Coach Greg Adams. This is some clips that I got from Coach Greg, but also some work that I blended in myself. Shout out to Coach Greg Adams, and this is fair use. I'm going to use this information to critique, to teach, and also explain the issues that we're dealing with as Black men, and also to the good women that are trying to listen. So fair use, guys, fair use. And once again, guys, the comments and views associated with this stream does not necessarily support more or less adhere to my views, but once again, this is warning, as Coach Greg said, viewer discretion is advised. So we're just more or less chopping up game and more or less trying to see things from a male perspective.
On Everybody Loves Chris. I'm sure she did a lot of other things that I can't remember off the top of my head. She recently had a tweet on Twitter. Shout out to Elon Musk. Hopefully he buys all of Twitter in Twitter world. Let's go back to what she said over here. Let's see. That's a picture of, we don't want to see. You guys want to see what Tichina Arnold looks like? All right. I had a whole in her here. If in case you didn't know, for the white folks, they're like, who? All right. This is her. This is her. This is a whole collage. Well, anyway, she actually, I did a story on her other compadre from the show. She was the 50-year-old woman saying she was about to get kidnapped and sold into sex slavery down at the border near Brownsville, Texas, about a month ago. All right. So these two are kind of trying to keep relevant and well into their 50s, but this is part of the narratives that have changed about our world. All right. Most of these people would have passed the torch by now to the younger generations, or at least try to be an elder to the younger generations of women coming up and try to pass the torch of righteousness, virtuosity, however you pronounce it. And they would have passed the torch and made sure the younger generation actually had a little bit their hair screwed on right. Instead, these women are competing with the younger generations of TikToks and whatnot. All right.
And Coach Greg is correct. Coach Greg is correct. Shout out to Cortez Smith. What's up, Cortez? But Coach Greg is correct. The gospel said, let the older women teach the younger women. Let the older women teach the younger women. But now, guys, so many of the younger women, the older women are trying to compete with the younger women. They're trying to compete with the younger women for vainglory. And it's causing a lot of issues in our relationships.
And so they're trying to stay as relevant as they can, and into their 50s. So here's what happened here. Tichina Arnold, if you don't know, I'll give you a brief history of her. She's been divorced twice. She's been divorced twice. We have to acknowledge this because this is part of what's going on. And her most recent divorce was to a former UCLA basketball player and a current NBA assistant coach. I'm not gonna. Well, let's rename his name, Rico Hines. All right, Rico Hines, right there in his better days. Allegedly, there's a SEX tape in which he's clapping cheeks with another woman, and she discovered it. All right, and so that's part of the history and the narrative there. All right, let's take down the collage. Let's take down that story and get to her tweeter. And gentlemen, I'm sorry to say, I know the pro-blacks are just tuning in. They never come to the show on time. All right, this is just something that happens. Even our guy was talking about this lately. What's going on here? It says here, this is her tweet. Let's go ahead and scroll. Can I close? Oh, I can't. Her tweet says, honest question. Well, it asks, honest question. What can we as black women in America? She's the one that brought up black women, by the way. I don't diss black women. I mean, there's no point in doing that. I don't know why people even waste time dissing them. I mean, what is the point? Oh, he's amazing on the Sacramento King staff. People are like, black women this and black women that. I was like, what? I mean, I don't know. Have you just noticed this, or is this something that is the first time you're able to say it? Are you just seeing this? You know what I mean? Like, I've been around. I've been alive since the 1970s. I've seen a lot. And this ain't nothing.
And so, guys, the whole consternation came from the question. Honest question, what can we as black women in America do to stop aiding in the emasculation of black men in America? That was a fair question. But, Tichina Arnold got hit in the head with asking that question. And, Coach Greg and I are critiquing it now. But once again, when good sisters speak out and they try to come to the aid of our men, many times they're shamed back into silence.
You know what I mean? Like, just chill on black women. Let them be. Let them be. They can do it all themselves, bro. I don't even bother them. I don't even be bothering them. Shout out to her. She asked, what can we as black women in America do to stop aiding in the emasculation of black men in America? I have to give her a round of applause for at least being a two-time divorcee. Taking two men to the ringer, or at least one man actually earned it if he was on a sex tape clapping cheeks while they were married. I mean, that's pretty low. I have no defense of that. But Pam here actually is stepping outside of the box. I mean, she actually is, she's actually doing something that is against code in the community, in which she is actually trying to stick up for the black man. This is actually pretty unique. This is liable to get her canceled. And sure, she got dragged definitely in the comment section. And this is what I want to point out. Because I've been talking about the emasculation of men in general. We talk about the language that we have, the subservient language that we have accepted, and the amount of men that actually cross the line and go against man code, and they continue to perpetuate this language, like happy wife, happy life. She wears the pants in the family. She's the better half. All right. I'm in the doghouse. All right. I don't want to anger her. She's the boss.
And guys, anytime you do that goofy stuff, where you don't stand firm in your masculinity as a man, you're not protecting your wife when you allow her to disrespect you as a man. True protection comes from setting boundaries for your children, but also setting boundaries with your wife. But if you're always placating to her whim and placating to her needs, that's not the sign of love, man. True love is discipline. It's discipline on your end, but also it's discipline with giving her guidance if you love her. And the woman don't want the guidance, guys, then you got to come up with an extra strategy.
All right, she's the master. All right, these are all of the things that we've adopted. And the reason why we've adopted it is because we wanted to give women some sense of, yeah, she is a key piece to this relationship. All right, but we overcompensated, and typically men overcompensate. Just like I gave the example of anytime you're competing against a woman on anything, you feel bad and you're like, well, I won't go too hard on her. I'll take it easy. I'll let her win a couple of games. I'll let her get a little bit of her confidence up, because otherwise we could just roast them and just about damn near everything. You know what I mean? If we started a cooking contest, I'll roll this pitmaster out and start putting women to shame once I start mixing this barbecue sauce together. All right, it'll be over. So sometimes you're like, well, let her win. You know what I mean? We got to let her win. And we tie our legs together. We tie our knees together. We put one hand behind our back, our dominant hand. We'll play the whole game left-handed. And we'll be like, oh, let her win. You'll still go halfway on them. Here's the tweet. And if you ever wanted to save the community, I don't know what to tell you. Honest question. He says, what can black women do in America? To stop aiding in the emasculation of black men in America. She admits there's an emasculation of black men in America. Everyone can see it. But when I scrolled in the comment section, I realized it was over. It's done. Because Yapa, W, vaccine or mask, you can't be, I don't know what she's talking about.
And guys, that's what many men are beginning to say. I told you guys, I'm not against working with good sisters and also good men, trying to form a more perfect union, but men and women are beginning to see it, but men have been seeing it for a while. Coach Greg Adams brings a lot of credence to what's going on. They're beginning to see the writing on the wall that the current community that we have perhaps will have to burn. We can save the remnant that's left. We'll work with the remnant that's trying to do the right thing. But by and large, guys, when you think about over 90% or a large percentage of our women or women of our ethnic hue voted for policies that were antithetical to black families, black men, and black children, then it leaves you question about what's going to happen the next 10 to 20 years. And you guys are beginning to see it manifest right before your eyes. I got some shocking footage you guys are going to see. You're not going to believe it.
As soon as these questions come up in an effort to pretty much change the direction of the community, in which you're going to need to stop the emasculation of black men, yeah, for sure. Right away, the top comment is going to confirm it's over. And then Yafa, I don't know what her name is. She says, what about us black women? Where is the protection and respect for us? Now, this is probably one of the most,
And see, guys, that's the true sign of a matriarchal culture. That's the true sign of a matriarchal culture. Where the women constantly say, what's in it for us? They don't see themselves as a unit trying to work together to understand black men and black women, but they see themselves as separate entities outside of black men and the black family. But these are the same women in the next 10 to 20 years that will be crying that nobody protects them. But you see, sadly, that a large percentage, more than 50%, I would say, more or less have their own agenda, and they more or less don't work to form a more perfect union with like-minded, logical, conscious thinking black men that are trying to do the right thing. We're not talking about the 20% of dusty black men, maybe the 20% that are reckless, aimless, and causing chaos with some of our women. We're not talking about those percentages. We're talking about the hardworking, loving, law-abiding brothers. They're trying to do the right thing. They're not perfect. And those women are more or less looking past those men for the small percentage that are dusty. Keep listening.
The highlighted comment here, because there's a lot of people interacting with it. Interaction gets you at the top. And there's 2,441 likes on this particular thing. And I've heard this from somewhere before. I've heard this exact same thing from somewhere before, and look no further than Ice Cube. This is why I've always told men, yes, I'm a tap dancing coon. All right. I'll be whatever that is. I definitely won't be a captain for the community, because there's no point. Anytime you say, this is what we're going to do for black people, or this is what we're going to do for black men, we're going to replace the black man first, and then we'll get to the woman, they won't let you. They're not going to let you. And here's your confirmation. Let's play the clip. Fair use.
All the same when it comes to a president and dealing with.
Wait a minute. Whoa. Let's go ahead and get it off chipmunk mode for a second.
Our situation.
So let me. I gotta ask this question. Because you're on this show with the cocktails with the queens, and there's a reason for that.
Take a look here. This looks like a family reunion for me that I would never show up to. All right, look at this woman right here. She's not picking up what he's laying down at all. All right, this is Vivica A. Fox. I don't know who this woman is, but she's fixing her weave. This woman is Claudia Jordan. and she has the granny sun eyeglasses on. And this woman is the woman from I can't remember her name. I can't remember her name. But if you said it, I'll remember it. But look at them and how they're blatantly disrespecting Ice Cube, which I don't know if you know at the time. He was trying to do a contract for Black America in which he was going to present to presidential. He offered to present to both presidential candidates in the 2020 election, and only Donald Trump took the bait.
And remember, you know, Ice Cube was acting on the behalf of the Black family and the Black community. But see, these women saw themselves as entities outside of Black men. And guys, you begin to see the evidence more and more and more and more that they see themselves as more important than you. They see themselves as the prize. And it's getting to the point, guys, that you got to continue to work on yourself. And as SYSBM says, to save yourself, you have to save yourself because the writing is on the wall. Shout out to my man, MC Recovery and Wellness, for that $10 super sticker. Thank you, sir.
That's a deal, right?
I appreciate
That's
MC
deal,
Recovery and
right?
Wellness. Thank you, sir.
That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right?
He said that modern women / simps need a resurrection for their mental health. Recovery, he said, happy Easter. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it, man. Thank you, sir. But you guys are beginning to see the writing on the wall. You begin to see the anecdotal evidence, but also the empirical evidence. The large portion of them, guys, are beginning to see themselves as more important than you. And because of that, guys, it's going to cause a lot of consternation. It's going to cause a lot of distress because you cannot build a more perfect union, a more perfect society when the women see themselves as more important than you, sadly.
And Joe Biden said, screw you. I'll meet you when I get into the White House, which he never did. Okay. But the fact that he met with Trump on this, the Do Biden group said, what the hell's going on here? Because you guys know that they're funded by the, thank you, sir, Lisa Ray. Lisa Ray is her name. Okay. Lisa Ray. Thank you. I knew that, but again, I'm bad with names. All right. So let's listen to their response to Ice Cube. And this is the general response that you're going to get as a Black man by making any change in the community, because the community, they know you don't have the economic backing, you don't have the political backing, and you don't have enough strong men that are going to be willing to follow through on this, because had you had a convention, it'll be a fornication convention in no time flat. It's just too many simps. All right. And you wouldn't get any damn thing done. So here, let's go ahead and play the clip.
It wasn't to have you defend or not defend Donald Trump. It was about, I care about what's in this contract with Black America for women. And it's not, we're not mentioned at all in the contract with Black America. And I want to know,
I mean, when you mention Black people, you mentioning Black women. So don't count yourself out.
No, that's not true.
So interesting. So Ice Cube says that he was able to get a meeting with a current sitting president, all right, which is not easy to do. Martin Luther King did it and sold y'all out. All right. The last person to do it sold y'all out. So did Messy Jesse Jackson and that damn Al Sharpton. All right. They didn't sold y'all out for a whole bunch of shillings and shekels. And then so did Black Lives Matter. All right. So I don't know what people are complaining about. If you're able to do this, you actually took some great strides. So now he said Black people, and then they said, nope. Oh, no, that don't include Black women. And they're talking over him, bro. This is why you'll never catch my ass, right? At no community meeting. I'll never be there, bro. Never, not one damn time, because this is what it'll turn into. And I'm a nobody, all right? This dude's a somebody. And he catching hell. Hold up, let me go back and play that again. When he said, well, when I say for Black people, I said that includes Black women, and they said, nope.
So I gotta ask this question. Because you're on this show with the cocktails with the queens, and there's a reason for that. It wasn't. And
I mean, when you mention Black people, you mentioning Black women. So don't count yourself out.
No, that's not true.
That's like administration say that when they
Black people is not Black women. Black women are not included in Black people.
No,
And you see it, Miss Parker. It's shameful. It's really shameful. It's really shameful to the crew that's listening. It's shameful because this is the thinking of many. This small sample size is the thinking of many that live in modern times in modern America. But watch this, guys. They want you to put your life on the line. They want you to defer your happiness for the sake of appeasing their happiness. Instead of them following the authority and the order of their men, they're making themselves separate entities outside the ordinance of a man. And that's why, guys, I say to myself, it's going to take maybe generations to get it back on track, because the old heads got to die out, and then there got to be a resurrection of new ones coming in, because you guys are seeing it for what it is, man. You see it for what it is. It's unfortunate. And you're right, Ms. Parker. I don't understand how we separate ourselves. I don't want to. Well, actually, I understand it, Ms. Parker. When you go to these liberal schools, you become indoctrinated to think that men, white men included, all men, Asian, Latinos, or whatever, you've been conditioned to think that we're the enemy. They see us as the oppressors. And as I said before earlier, black men never created policy. Only a small percentage of white men created policies. Average working white men, blue-collar white men, they didn't create policy. And neither did black men. It was a small percentage of oligarchs or men in power that created policies that more or less impact black men, black families, black boys, black girls, and Americans in general. But they see themselves as better because they've been conditioned to think that they have been oppressed. And modern women have been through nothing near what their grandmothers and their mothers went through. They didn't go through Jim Crow racism. They didn't go through antebellum slavery. They didn't go through none of that. But somehow they're crying now and saying that they've been oppressed. And it's foolish, guys. It's foolish and it's foolhardy, but that's the pathology that we have in this current time. Modernized thinking is the new delusion. It's the new delusion. Modernized thinking is a new delusion. Shout out to my man Top Gun for that $10 super sticker. He said they took Me Too slogan and now that's their joker with the red writing. You may proceed.
That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right?
And that's a deal,
that's a
right?
Bet, right? That's a deal, right?
That's a deal, right? And you guys are beginning to see it, sadly. You guys are beginning to see it. You're seeing the writing on the wall.
That's what you're saying.
What is going on here? This is all I got to say to this, bro. This is the only thing that I can say to this whole damn conversation right here. What the? My ears hurt right now listening to them.
Martin Luther Lee
cackle and balk right at this man. I can only stare at Martin Luther Lee at this poor.
And Mel, you're right, and you're going to see the evidence in a minute. That's why I keep telling you guys, if a person want to be part of the alphabet community, that's their business, do you. But the alphabet community will never supersede the struggles and the rights and the freedoms of black men in America. We will not put our pressures behind and our struggles behind to assuage the alphabet community. We're not doing that as men, because our struggle, especially as black men in America, and especially all men, have been unique to any other American in this country. But see what they do, guys, these liberal politicians, they tend to encapsulate the alphabet community with the struggles of black men. And guys, you're going to see something as I show you the evidence that's going to shock you guys. You guys are going to see something that's going to prove my point, because their agenda is not for you. Their agenda is for women and the alphabet community. And they don't give a damn about black men and black men and their rights. They see you as the enemy. Heterosexual black men are under attack. We're seen as the pariahs, and we're seen as the great Heron or the great Satan. And you guys, I'm going to show you guys something that's going to shock you guys in a minute. Hold tight.
Guy is literally trying to put it on the line, and they're roasting him. They're like, nah, son. Nah, son. We ain't doing none of that, son.
That's like when the president says minorities, then he's including black people. But we all know that's not the case. Black women have specific needs that are not also being met. And we also feel that
they said they have specific needs, but the first time in human history, guys, we've seen the rise of a female vice president. We have a black female justice in the Supreme Court. Black women have a lot of power now. I would say that our black boys have no power. And I'm going to say something to the women that have boys. You better fight like hell to advocate for your sons, because your sons will be part of that warrior class. But I saw it when I was teaching school. I also see it in practice. We're not empowering our boys. We're not empowering our young men, black men and white boys and white men and Asian men and Hispanic men. It's the warrior class that's going to protect your ass when things get rough. But see, these women are, like I said, a microcosm of a larger macrocosm. It's always about what they want. They ain't been through nothing compared to what their grandmother and great grandmothers went through. They got more now in this generation than any other generation, and they still raising hell crying, always in the damn victim mode. Always victims, you know, it's always they got problems. Men are dropping out of school. Men are more at risk for suicide and depression when they lose the things that they have. Our boys are not achieving at the rates that our girls are achieving, but we keep minimizing the efficacy and the achievement of our boys. We keep building the girls, and so be it. Damn it. If you think this country is suffering now, give it another 10 to 20 years and see what's going to happen.
There should be some things that are specific to us and our plight as well.
So what Ice Cube did, look at his face. His face is like. So then what Ice Cube did as a result, this is just some background information. Ice Cube then added 2 new sections to his contract with Black America. And he had to then go in and include 2 new sections to now let's go to a couple of bids.
Now, guys. Now you would think, guys, that this man, you know, being a black man, well, actually he's a black queer man, will more or less sympathize with the struggles of black men. But once again, guys, that's part of the liberal machine that indoctrinates even alphabet black guys to see black men and masculinity as something negative and damaging. Listen to what this man says, or this fool says, as he excoriates black men and heteronormative masculinity.
A couple of video responses here. Fair use. Do not go to any of these people's page and comment. Do not leave my name when you comment. If you want to go comment, leave my name the hell out of it. All right. Do not go over there and attack them or disqualify them or whatever you want. But here's a man who's going to respond to this particular comment by Tichina Arnold about the emasculation of men in America. This is irony at its best. Somebody said, Coach don't want no smoke. No, Coach, I don't want people putting my name in their comment section because they're going to say I sent you over there to harass them. I did not. The one thing you can't do is harass people. The one thing you cannot do is harass people. And proof of harassment could be I shared a video and you went over there and harassed them intentionally, you know, and they're like, oh, he sent his people over there. I'm not saying to do that. And you can't do that on social media. All right. So this person here, I want to say this could be LeVar Burton's cousin from the Reading Rainbow. I'm not sure. But he's going to say what Tichina Arnold says is false. It's not, there's no emasculation of black men. Because he says here, the emasculation of black men is not a real issue. He's going to say, no, this is not true. So let's go ahead and see let's get off chipmunk mode over here. And let's hear this individual's response, they's response related to this.
You all can see. Now, Mr. Tichina Arnold came up here and said on his question, what can we as Black women in America do to stop aiding in the emasculation of Black men in America? Now,
obviously, he doesn't agree at this particular point. There's no such thing as the emasculation of Black men. Interesting. Everybody knows what this nonverbal gesture is here. Everybody has seen this nonverbal gesture. This wouldn't be a gesture that, never mind, continuing on.
And this is hilarious to me because, like, if you look at masculinity, right, or at least like the traditional version of it, or the most oppressive, the violent versions of it that people seem to want to hold on to for dear life, and if you change the definition of masculinity even one inkling, they just, oh my God, emasculation. So what I'm asking right now is
this is irony on a grand scale. I mean, I don't even know what to say here. I'm confused.
Shout out to my man Clement, great for that $5 super sticker. Thank you, Clement. Timothy said, these are the same types of women who control the makeup of the church, which in turn controls the home. God is first, Christ, man, women in that order. And you're right. That's the way it should be. The men should be leading their homes and their communities. But these hyenas don't want men to lead them. They want to lead the men. And anytime masculine men begin to try to lead them, they push back and they fight back. So let the city burn, guys. Let the city burn.
I'm like, wait a minute. You're saying that there's no masculinity issue? Oh, okay.
To take a look at traditional masculinity and ask yourself, what has it done for Black women? Like, what has it done for Black women for them to be holding on to it in this kind of homophobic ass fucking way? And that's exactly what it is, queerphobic ass way. Like,
so this fool is equating masculinity, the struggles of our ancestors, the struggle of our forefathers, the struggles of the planters, the farmers, the engineers, the railroad builders, the civil engineers. He's equivocating that to the alphabet lifestyle. Somehow our struggles always get tied up to theirs, to the point that our struggles become sabotage. And you guys see it all the time. And this here is a living representation of it.
What? Wow, it's phobic now. What she said was phobic. Let's see. Again, generations don't understand. We live in a safe time. So I just want people to understand that there were, previous to the United States becoming a world power after World War II, United States was at war steady, meaning that men, once you turn the age of 18, you probably served in the army or you were at war. Even till after the World War II, you went into the Korean War. The biggest wars were the Korean War and the Vietnam War, and then into the 90s, the Desert Storm, and then Afghanistan after that. But by that particular point, it was pretty safe to say men would never be drafted in. And so men would never have to have the requirements to serve in the army, selective services, or fight. But prior to that, we lived in very unsafe, unsecure, barbaric times. We were not a world power. We were not the top power. We were climbing to be the power, and we were constantly at war, not with just people on other turfs. We were at war with ourselves. So you weren't even safe for hundreds of years prior to World War II. And then even after World War II, you probably still weren't safe as a man. So there was no skirting the issue. Your ass probably had to go out there and fight. So the people who exist today in this safe time in which you don't have to fight, they exist because of masculinity. You exist because of masculinity. You exist because of the men who protect your communities, police officers, whoever is whoever's responsible for protecting you and keeping you safe. It's probably some masculine shit that went down. However, people are saying, what has men done? See, this is, man, I tell you, boy, the ungrateful nature of the modern people, the generation millennials and Gen Z, very ungrateful for what the men in our past have done for us to get us to the point.
And that's true. Sadly, many of the millennials and some of the Zennials, not all, they are ungrateful. They're ungrateful. They're very entitled. They don't understand the struggle. And they seek to subvert anything that we do as men. And they always complain and see themselves as victims.
Point we are in. And now we say masculinity's done nothing. I mean, it's really, really weird. But listen, it's not only me. You guys have your world and how you want it.
Looking at the unchanged traditional definition of masculinity, why are you talking about emasculation? Like, I hate the fact that it is just this made up fairy tale ass fake issues that people be concerned about. You're worried about niggas in dresses.
And he said, guys, that paternity fraud is not an emasculation of men. He's saying that unfair sentencing laws is not an emasculation, especially of Black men. He's saying that unjust marital laws is not an emasculation of Black men. He's saying that the minimization of masculinity and the reduction of men in schools is not emasculation of Black men. Let me show you guys this clip real quick. Hold tight. You guys have seen it before, which is something that's impacting not Black men, but it's impacting all men. So hold tight. I'm going to bring it back up. Hold tight.
It's a hard thing to admit, but it's understandable why they would choose to go their own way. And that's what's scary, is there's actually a rational reason why they would do that.
Men going their own way. And you can think what you want about it, but this is a really big problem for women, for us, for our future, for families, for you to find a partner. If a population of good men are walking away because they're fed up with women.
If you're being told all your life that you are bad and wrong just for being a man, and that you have toxic masculinity for being a man, and that, you know, women, there's this famous expression that, you know, a woman needs a man just like a fish needs a bicycle. And that men are basically useless. And that men are terrible, and that, you know, women are superior.
Our society is very callous towards men. The only message most men hear in the world is that they're a bumbling buffoon. The TV shows are full of idiot men. Commercials show men as buffoons. The society is against them. All they hear about is what idiots men are.
It's the mass of women that are taking over the culture and representing women. They're loud. They're mean. They say they want equality. Why are they not protesting in the streets for the changing the laws for alimony or child support or child custody? Because they don't want equality. They want superiority.
The male gender has more of a slave state, and it's because men are now subjugated to the law and to women, and nobody really believes it except the men who go through, say, the court. But most men think that they're exempt from that until they end up in a bad situation.
So for a lot of the men, and a lot of them have gotten screwed over in terrible relationships and divorces, and gotten their kids taken away from them. So it's an understandable response.
In the United States of America, as a man, you can't speak up. I think most women tend to be I'm stereotyping, but they tend to be more collectivist. They tend to sort of be more in that socialist mindset. So I don't know that you're going to see a huge change. I think the change will have to come from men.
The lives of women will not change until the men get the opportunity to also examine and define and change their lives. In many ways, I sometimes think that the 20th century was the century where the women made all these massive changes, and the 21st century will be the changes that the men will make, partly in adapting to the changes that the women have done.
And those men are doing something about it. They're saying, you know what, I'm done with this. I'm not getting married, or I'm divorced. They don't sit around just trying to live their life through women. They actually have lots of hobbies. They go out, they buy that land you were talking about. They're out there getting motorcycles. They're having a good time, and they're enjoying life without having to deal with the stress of the women and the society that tells them they have to have a woman in their life.
How would you feel? I mean, you know, you're not going to feel that attracted to a woman or care to be loving towards her or romantic towards her. So this men going their own way is a reaction to that. I really think it's a rational reaction to that. Men are finally like, hey, we've given you all you want. You know, you are equal in every way, and then you're still shaming us.
Now, you guys saw it. You guys saw it, and I saw it. You guys saw Little Richard. You guys saw this dude say that, you know, black men are not being emasculated. And, you know, I'm offended by it. That's why I said what I said. I'm extremely offended by it. If you men are offended by it, and also the ladies, and you guys are offended by what this young man said from the alphabet community, I need you guys to hit 1. Because it's an assault on masculinity where the evidence is profound. And this fool is saying that we're not emasculated. And that's why I keep telling you guys, you have to vote for policy instead of voting for race. You have to vote for policy because this is the byproducts of liberal indoctrination, guys. And it's unfortunate. Shout out to D. He said his position leads to his lifestyle pathology belief that perpetuates the feminization of men. This fits the narrative of masculine women and liberalism and further aids to the attack on black men. And yes, it is disgusting.
That's a deal, right?
I agree with you 100%. It bugs me. It makes me angry when this fool says that black men are not emasculated. And as I said earlier, I'm not here to attack the alphabet community. You do what you want to do, believe you do what you want to do. But when you assault heterosexual men, when you practice, in my mind, heterophobia, because that's what it looks like to me, damn heterophobia, then I got a problem with it. If you can talk about the phobias as it relates to your lifestyle, then damn it, we're going to talk about the phobias that relates to being masculine and being men. Because this is an attack on heteronormative masculinity, which I find to be very offensive. But that's the narrative, and that's what's going on in these liberal schools. And it came down, guys, from, liberal white policies, and it was disseminated to some of our black girls, and so these liberal white policies are antithetical to white traditionalism, but also black traditionalism, because black people at their core are very traditional. But I'm very offended by it. But I want you guys to see this foolishness, and this is what they are teaching your kids in schools now.
And niggas in skirts and niggas in makeup and shit, whatever else y'all talk about. Meanwhile, what has traditional masculinity done for y'all except to tell y'all to take y'all pregnant, barefoot asses to the kitchen
and guys, that's always the same damn talking point. It's always pregnant and barefoot. But his goof ass don't understand that his granddads and probably great-grandfather damn fought for this country. Other women would be grateful to be pregnant. Always see themselves as the victim. Always the victim. Forever the victim. They're always the victim. But they always use that little damn tired talking point, the victim narrative, pregnant and damn barefoot. Like, how many women in modern times are damn pregnant and barefoot? They always use revisionist history to more or less try to cast aspersions to modern times. Modern women have more things that their grandmothers, their great-grandmothers could have ever had. But this fool is still living in revisionist history, castigating false ideologies, the overgeneralization to modernized black men, and more or less trying to say they're pregnant and damn barefoot. So this is what I say. If you don't believe in being married, if you don't believe in the power of marriage, keep your ass single. Just stay single. Fight for yourself. When the barbarians come, don't ask black men to come be no damn bullet bags, because they always talk about the negatives of being heterosexual men, but they don't talk about the positives, like the advancement of civilization. They don't talk about men to put their lives on the line when children or women are at risk or in danger. During the Titanic, many men lost their lives trying to protect women and children. Many men lose their damn lives now trying to protect women and children. But then some of these same women get mad and say, well, why do men and boys stand back when they see women being attacked or assaulted on the streets? Why would they fight? Y'all don't protect the egos of damn black men. You don't protect their ego. You don't protect their mental health. But you want these damn men to put their lives on the line and be a bullet bag for your goofy, selfish ass. And it burns me up, man. And I don't give a damn. If black men don't get respect, if the alphabet community want to be respected, then they're gonna start respecting black men. Because I got a problem every time I see black men being silenced into damn shame. Can't say nothing. And this fool is setting up more or less. I'm pushing it. Hold tight.
Or two, you probably still weren't safe as a man. So there was no skirting the issue. Your ass probably had to go out there and fight. So the people who exist today in this safe time in which you don't have to fight, they exist because of masculinity. You exist because of masculinity. You exist because of the men who protect your communities, police officers, whoever is whoever's responsible for protecting you and keeping you safe. It's probably some masculine shit that went down. However, people are saying, what has men done? See, this is, man, I tell you, boy, the ungrateful nature of the modern people, the generation millennials and Gen Z, very ungrateful for what the men in our past have done for us to get us to the point we are in. And now we say masculinity's done nothing. I mean, it's really, really weird. But it's not only me. You guys have your world and how you want it.
Looking at the unchanged traditional definition of masculinity, why are you talking about emasculation? Like, I hate the fact that it is just this made up fairy tale ass fake issues that people be concerned about. You're worried about niggas in dresses and niggas in skirts and niggas in makeup and shit, whatever else y'all talk about. Meanwhile, what has traditional masculinity done for y'all except to tell y'all to take y'all pregnant barefoot asses to the kitchen and make a fucking sandwich? Like, what has it done? What has masculinity done for y'all to the point where you're holding on to it and you don't want to accept any changes to the definition of what it means to be a man? Because masculinity is fucking up even men. The traditional, you know what I mean? The traditional definition of it is fucking men up. It's destroying men. It's telling them that the only feelings that they should have.
This has to be the most ironic video I have ever seen in my life. I mean, Jesus. I mean, really, people don't have any clue of history. Oh my God. I don't, man. And here I am. I'm not calling people names.
All right, guys. That's part of it. Hold tight. I'm going to show you guys something else. I'm going to show you guys something else that's going to more or less give clarity to what we're talking about tonight and the foolishness that you guys see permeating these modern times. Modern times is causing modern paranoia, but also damn modern foolishness. Hold tight.
Example of somebody that's not in particularly excited about Tichina Arnold's
to stop aiding in the emasculation of Black men. I think that some Black women have this savior complex and they believe that they have to save everybody and they have to fix everything because this is not a Black woman's issue. I think we should be putting that energy into saving ourselves.
Did you guys hear that? She said we should put the energy into saving ourselves. But they wonder why Black men say SYSBM, save yourself, Black man. They wonder why other men are saying men going their own way, like the white men and other groups. They wonder why men are going through an existentialist crisis that led to rage. You heard what the woman said, guys. This is the evidence. You guys are beginning to see how many actually think on surface. You guys are beginning to see it.
Here it is. It's pretty clear. This is about the third time I have heard, maybe more if I looked at the tweets that people responded, that I've heard that Black women are not the same as Black men. I mean, they literally distinguish themselves from you. And I've said this happened over a 30 or 40 year period during affirmative action in which Black men particularly were penalized twice for not being Black women. All right. They were penalized twice. And I told you that. And there was one guy that told me I was out of my mind. But no, during affirmative action, overwhelmingly Black women benefited, mainly because of double quota systems in which corporations figured out a way to finesse the game by not hiring a Black man and then a Black woman. They were like, we don't need to hire both in order to fill our quota. We can hire the Black woman, and she now counts as a Black person and a woman. So now they kill two birds with one stone. They don't have to hire another woman, and they don't have to hire another Black. They can hire one that counted as two. As such, many of these women achieved or rose to middle management positions mainly through human resource jobs or jobs in which they had input on hiring, in which many Black men still did not get offered jobs into these corporations because, number one, they did not fill the double quota. Number two, many times Black women distinguish themselves from Black men and may have inadvertently left Black men in the cold during hiring practices. Okay, so that it cannot be disputed. It did happen. A lot of Black men weren't invited into corporate settings or were blocked and said, we ain't gonna get that nigga a job. All right. And then they hired someone else to fill the minority quota. They hired Hector, Ramondo, the Eastern Indian dude, all right, whoever the hell they hired as a minority, dump somebody in a wheelchair, whoever. All right. And as such, and guys, I don't even have a dog in this fight. I don't care. I'm a free agent. I'm just telling you how it worked. and how it went. All right. And as you can see, these women are openly admitting when it comes to black men and black women, we're different. We're not the same. She just admitted it. So if you're mad, do not be mad at me. This is how they think, and this is how we should thus live our lives, because that's the way they think.
That energy into saving ourselves and asking questions that will better us as Black women. How can we aid in the destruction of colorism? Why is the maternal mortality rate for Black women so high? Or we can talk about how Black women are mistreated in corporate America and paid less. When it comes to addressing an issue like the emasculation of Black men, I feel like there's so many more real issues that need to be discussed.
And these talking points, guys, can be debunked. They can be debunked. It's all about the hours that you make to more or less determine how much money you make. But once again, guys, true to form, it's always the victim mindset. And it's getting so damn near irritating that a lot of men are just checking out and just watching time go by and focusing on themselves, because this is the pathology that you guys are beginning to see. And as I said earlier, I know there are some that are proponents for community revitalization, but it got to burn down first. And the remnant is left. I will support the remnant, but the majority must burn down with the city, because there's no helping them, in my opinion.
Yes. It's problematic for her to even consider this to be a real topic. I think her question stems from a lot of the homophobia in the Black community.
Wow. Well, I mean, as you can see, guys, I've been trying to tell you brothers to wake the hell up. There's been guys that have been saying SYSBM. I've been telling you to flee the community crazy. I mean, they have nothing there for you. It is pretty clear. I don't know why you're there trying to save it that much. And you might say, well, this isn't how all Black women think. I don't care, bro. I really don't care. It means nothing. All I have to do is hear a few, and we've heard quite a few. All I have to hear a few is to realize there's nothing there for me. There's nothing there, unfortunately. I'm not there to save it, and there's nothing that I can do to change this. I saw Ice Cube try to change it, and they shouted the man down. All right, it's done. It's over. I would tell you to get out.
And if someone really and truly has that much of an issue with the LGBTQ community or a man in a dress, I feel like they have a problem within themselves. Most Black.
I don't know how this became an issue about LBGT. I have no idea how it jumped to this argument, but it has jumped there several times.
And that's what they do. Every time or any time there's an issue with heteronormative masculinity, they always put in another agenda that's antithetical to our rights and our needs as men. It happens every time, guys.
What is emasculation in LGBT? That doesn't mean you're emasculated. All right, that means you were born that way, right? As far as I remember, you were born that way, so that has nothing to do with emasculation. But I don't know why it jumps there, but this is just shaming language to try to shout down the real issue.
Black men.
Nobody answers the question. Everybody jumped to other things that were more important in their mind. They never even addressed it.
Identify manhood as toxic masculinity. They've created a culture where it's normal to devalue and demean women. It's normal to not value family or marriage. And it's normal to not be educated. It's also normal for them not to really know how to express their emotions other than anger. And that leads to a lot of violence. So I believe only a man can teach another man.
She says normal for them not to be educated. It's normal. She's more or less saying that we're the reasons for all the violence in the world. She's taking all Black men and all men and equivocating them to all the ills in society. Not once saying that some of the problems associated could be also by her counterparts as well.
How to be a man. And only a man can really define what manhood is.
That I don't disagree with. I don't disagree with that. She did a lot of jumping around and bullshit. All right, but I do agree with that. Although in your community, it is least likely that there's a man there to teach young men. So with that being said, let's go on to the next video, and then we'll show you this one right here. This woman here was much more aggressive in her tone.
All right. So let me guys hold tight. Let me add this back to the stream. And this is from some shows that I did with Black Ram last night.
Seeing your receivers play well.
This is about Cam Newton. This is the Cam Newton fiasco.
Of his routes and getting those extra yards. Does that give you a little bit of an enjoyment to see him kind of truck sticking people out there?
It's funny to hear a female talk about routes. Like, it's funny.
So
I don't understand what he meant by that. He said, I guess he's talking about in a explicit way, I guess.
No. He's talking about routes. He's talking about routes like, Devin Funches, when he was at the Panthers, I'm a Panther fan, running the wide receiver routes,
okay.
Routes. And he was saying that, it's weird. And, he came under a lot of scrutiny here recently. I'm going to bring that up as well. But it seems like that logic is being superseded by modernized dogma, modernized ignorance. There's another woman I want to bring up to your conversation. One of my dear friends, she sent me this. This thing, and this young sister got met with a lot of scrutiny, Black Ram, and her name is Tichina Arnold, criticized on Twitter after asking how Black women can stop the emasculation of Black men in America. And it goes back to what I said earlier, Black Ram. Anytime women that are good women try to advocate for Black men, you got the ones that have been broken, like the Cynthia G's and the I can't think of the other chick name that looked like Cisco with the bad hair. I can't think of her name. Chris Logic, and all of them. Yeah. What they do, Black Ram, they go back and they try to make the canary be quiet, and so it makes it very hard for those women to advocate for brothers because. Pygmies, which is weird because I've always thought that a pygmy was something good. Oh, Ty, I got to go back and get that. But I always thought Black Ram that a pygmy was something good. My grandma was a pygmy because my grandmama's name was Louise, and my grandma Louise was, and like a lot of women in the South, they would go cook a pie, Black Ram. They would go cook that pie. And they would go cook a pie because they were trying to get a man. They knew that if they used that feminine graces and that feminine demeanor, they knew that was part of being picked. Even theology says that the bride prepared herself for the bridegroom. So she was trying to be picked, Black Ram. So, people use this foolishness, because up is down and down is up to shame women that want to be wives. They want to be traditional, or they use these women as talking points and say that marriage is not the barometer of success, but it is the barometer of success. It's something that all should strive for if they believe in family. Now, if you don't believe in family, then we're not talking to you. If you want to stay single and have fun, do you. Just don't start crying, when you in your house at 80 years old, your cat is sitting beside your bed and your dog waiting to eat you. Don't take it personal. But this woman came under a lot of scrutiny. So let's read what Tichina Arnold went through. So she said that, and beautiful sister, I forgot, she's an actress and a singer. But anytime, the nose lady, she spoke up and advocated for men. I can't think of her name, Tina Knowles, she spoke up. And so when these women begin to speak up and talk about the pain and the hurt of Black men, these same women, because they're still living through vicarious trauma, Black Ram, they project their experiences and overgeneralize it through thinking errors, which turn to catastrophizing once again. And once again, they begin to start having that overlay in their minds based on the pain that they went through. They got hurt by Raekwon the Man. So they think that you're Raekwon the Man. They think I'm Raekwon the Man. They think that the average guy is Raekwon the Man. And then they say all Black men. Now, Black men have done it too. Men have overgeneralized sometimes. I don't believe in overgeneralization. But it's a thinking error. But let's read what Tichina Arnold said. And we're beginning to see what I'm saying now, the brokenness as it comes to logic, Black Ram, versus modernized thought. Modernized thought appears to be superseding logic, which in essence is delusional. It's delusional in mind, because a delusion is when you think something is there, but you show the person the evidence and they still fail to believe it. So Tichina Arnold, shout out to my man Alton Prayer for that $25 bomb. Thank you, sir. And that is a deal, right? Thank you, Alton Prayer. I appreciate it, sir. Thank you for the $25 on donation. Appreciate it, sir. Thank you, Alton Prayer. He said, hey, big bro, women been seeing themselves a separate group from us for years now. It's about achieving supreme power over men, especially black men, for black women and the LGBTQ community. And yes, I agree with that conundrum. Yes, sir, I agree. Thank you, sir. Let me read her quotes. She said that, why it keeps taking me back. She said, I'm still reading comments. Woo. She said, despite all, she said, I'm still reading comments. She said, despite all, I would never be fearful of asking anyone questions. The black man and the black woman needs to heal together. We are against a plethora of odds that are continuing stacked against us, but won't change. And let me see, go back to see what she read. You've seen some of the women the same facts. Shout out to my man. Nice sometime, man. You dropped a heavy bomb on the brother. And that is a deal, right? I appreciate it. I'm nice sometime for that $100 super chat. $100 super chat. Thank you, sir. It's a nice sometime as you and James Miles were sponsors of last week, and you are the sponsor of this show. He said, I'm approached at the bar by a Middle Eastern woman who was having a drink, having a girl's night out. She purchases all 4 drinks for her friends and joined her friends. She later conversed with me and expressed interest. She asked if I wanted to buy her a drink or a shivery dead. I would have told her ass a shiver is dead. Because shiver is not given. You got to earn that, boo. I would have told her the shiver is dead. Yes, it's dead because I'm not buying you a drink. Let me go back. Let me see if I can go back. See what she was saying. But you see what she said, man. And so this is what was said: is out of all the black celebrities, the Twins main character of the day, beloved Tichina Arnold, was probably low on everyone's list, but that possibly has skyrocketed into our current reality. Arnold was roasted live on Twitter, Black Ram, for the statement about black men being emasculated in her view in American society. She tweeted, honest question, what can we do to stop aiding in the emasculation of black men in America? And, you know, Black Ram, that goes back to what you and I talked about. But let's read some of these comments. Because, you know, many of them, because they suffering their own pathology, Black Ram, always see themselves as the victim. But before I read these questions, Black Ram, what's your take on this? Because, you know, Tichina Arnold is an antidote that's proven you and I right. Because see, when we have these conversations, Black Ram, some will say, you know, the kosher clinician and Black Ram hate our women, but what we don't, we hate the behaviorists. But what's your take on what Ms. Arnold said?
Facts. I want to make a quick point. Notice that when black men defend and stand up for black women, they're often ignored. Mm-hmm. And when black women stand up for black men, they're ridiculed.
Right.
Just notice that.
Right. Shout out to Master Hugh for that $5 super sticker. Thank you, sir. And that is a deal, right? Thank you, Master.
That's a bet, right?
Thank you, sir, for that $5 super sticker. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Mm-hmm. So I guess she's starting to see the ill effects. I wonder, does she have a son? Because usually when you find somewhat sensitive to men's issues, it's because she has a son that she's seeing suffering. Because usually it has to be personal for a woman to speak on something. I'm gonna say it again. It usually have to be personal for a woman to speak on something. That's why when a man makes a statement, she always says, "Who hurt you?" Mm-hmm. Because she can only she only thinks in the subjective, where we can think objectively.
Right.
So it's not about who hurt us. It's something that we've observed and talking about. But for her, everything is subjective. So somebody must have hurt somebody that she knows for her to speak on these things. But nevertheless, it's good to hear that she has somewhat of a concern. I don't know if I can go with the sincerity, but then again, I'm not in her mind and heart. I can't say if she's sincere or not.
Right.
I got to get ready to run in a minute.
Okay.
Super chats.
Okay, all right. How many more minutes you got, Black Ram, before I let you go? I know you got to
go.
How many more minutes? About 10. Perfect.
Yeah.
All right, 10 minutes. All right. Shout out to my man Red, Lord Black Sigmund. He said that hyenas are off code, not keeping their males in spaces. Think about it. Some feel, Black Ram, that she really don't care about brothers. You know, I don't know, but her points ring so true in what she's saying. And so let's look at the comments real quick, Black Ram. She said, as you can imagine, her followers have a lot to say on the topic. Chief, which meaning that Black women don't have to be the ones to save Black men from their personal mistakes. But they always saying, Black Ram, who's protecting black women. So
yeah,
she said, what about us? One woman, where's the protection and respect for us? She said, you can't start by taking back insulting, unequivocal, asinine question is completed, devoid of actual history in the context to back it up. Added another comment, because history has shown time and time again that Black women have been the one protecting Black men, and what have they done for us? Wow, sad.
Whoa.
Right.
Wait, Coach. Coach, did I just hear that she said that Black women have been the one protecting Black men?
Right. So basically in slavery, man, they were protecting us when we were getting hung. Make it make sense.
I would really like to know where that reference is at. I mean, I don't know. Is that historically true? I mean, I doubt the merit of that statement.
It can't be historically true, because we were all beasts of the same burden. We were all struggling together.
Absolutely.
And our ancestors, thank God for our Black women of the past, like my grandmother and great grandmother, they understood that. But of course, nobody can see our pathology and our trauma. We can only see through the lens of our own trauma. And then here's the last one, Black Ram. She said, one male commenter seems to agree with the women's writing. I appreciate the gesture that Miss Arnold, but I don't know if it's your responsibility. This is what I call a hyena simp, and in and of itself, emasculation is subjective construct. Trans women, gay men portrayed in the media, independent women, none of this emasculate men. My manhood isn't that fragile. And you see, guys, they always equivocate the alphabet community with our struggle, or try to shame you into silence, or shame you for more or less addressing your issues. Because remember, men are the problems, men are the boogeyman. And once again, these male feminists, they are the great antithesis to traditional heteronormative masculinity. But I know you got to go in a minute, Black Ram. I'm going to ask you a question real quick. We always talk about solutions, because solutions are important, Black Ram, but we try to move forward. So I'm going to ask you this question because but let me read out this. Shout out everybody's dropping some love. So, me and Angry Man, we had a collaboration together, and we talked about some of the issues that we're having. And Angry Man talked about something called the BINO. That's called Black in Name Only. And you guys are beginning to see that many are Black in name only, but many don't understand or more or less adhere to the community needs and the community development of so many of our people. Sadly, some of our women have taken on that mantra. It's going to cause a deleterious impact in the future. Hold tight.
To us as a people, it was being used to disparage us. It was being used to
guys, forgive me if the volume is low.
Negative things about us. You look at the definition of Black. It represents evil. It represents death. It represents all of these horrible things. But as you know, back in the Black Power movement, with people like James Brown and people like Marvin Gaye, our culture made being Black beautiful. It made it a wonderful thing through the renaissance of Black people, with all of the great intellectuals, the great creators. We had one of my favorite artists, Ernie Barnes. You had, who was able to depict Blackness in such beauty. And then you had, Marvin Gaye, Marvin Gaye, James Brown, who made Black people proud to be Black. Then you had our great actors, the Sidney Poitiers, the Bill Cosbys, that really wanted to show the beauty of Black people. And of course, we had our leaders, the Huey P. Newtons, the Malcolm X's, the Marcus Garveys, the James Baldwins. You know what I'm saying? We had all of this, in spite of antebellum slavery, Jim Crow.
So the fact is this: are you a BINO? Are you a true person that more or less aspires to empower the Black people in your community, or are you just a BINO, a Black in name only? Shout out to the Angry Man for that acronym, because it appears that some of our women are exhibiting BINO qualities.
You still had this emergence of Black beauty. And recently, These Negroes have taken all of that and just pushed it aside. And now, today, when you think about Black, today it's about.
And see, guys, that young man from the alphabet community is an insult to so many of our ancestors, so many of the men that laid the foundation, the groundwork to what we're having now. And for him to try to castigate and minimize masculinity and see it as something negative, I find it very distasteful and it's very offensive. And I stand firm on that.
Drug dealing, it's about violence, it's about twerking, it's about they've basically taken every bad part of our culture, every questionable part of our culture, and they've put that to the forefront.
Right.
So I've said to everybody that is still traditionally Black, still Renaissance men, we're Black in name only because now Black represents something that we don't want to be a part of. We don't want to be.
And guys, that's what modernized thinking has done. It has defied logic and it's made this something that we don't want to be part of. That's what this modernized thinking has done. It's defied logic. And many have become Black in name only, not Black in trying to more or less preserve the community and more or less protect our boys and protect our men.
These negative stereotypes, and I've even extended it out to other people and other races, where it comes to, Latinos. If you don't want to be someone who is depicted by the negative stereotypes that are portrayed about your particular race, this applies to Black people, Latin people, white people, Asian people. It doesn't really matter, but it started out with Black people because a lot of us are good people.
Mm-hmm.
And we're tired.
We're tired, right?
We're tired of it. I'm tired of every time I turn on the television, I have to witness foolishness like Queen Latifah, who used to, rap about Black female empowerment and being respected, but she's at the award show, her and MC Light. They're at the award show congratulating Megan Thee Stallion for getting up there and shaking her behind when you got politicians sitting in the front row, Black politicians sitting in the front row.
Right.
Like, how is that conducive? If my grandmother saw that, she would be mortified. She wouldn't even watch the TV. She would turn the TV off.
Right.
And we just went from being a group of people who fought so hard to be humanized, who fought so hard to be respected, fought so hard to be considered dignified and upright.
Right.
For this new group to just throw all of it away. And that's what Beano Nation represents. It represents us pushing back and separating us. If we need to have a class separation, let's have that class separation. Where we're the elite, not through any pompous way, but because we're trying to be better and be an example for the newer generations of people from our community, instead of condoning all of that foolishness. I mean, it's cool to have fun. It's cool to have fun, but there's a time and a place for everything, and everything ain't for everybody,
Right. And you know what, man? We have the power to move this movement forward. At some point, Angry Man, I'm going to start my own practice as a therapist. It's definitely needed in the Black community. I'm definitely going to broker to a lot of men. And if my practice ever become big, I would definitely refer a lot of brothers to your book. I'll get you some business, man. I love your acumen. I love your insight. I love your wisdom. You're a very intellectual brother. You're a breath of fresh air. And I don't say that lightly. I could talk with you probably for hours because you flow so well. And I tend to do very well with Libras anyway. I don't know why, but you guys are very enlightening, and we need that enlightenment because we're in very dark times, very turbulent times. Let me read out some more of these super stickers real quick. Shout out to Big Bad Bull. He said definitely a part 2. And like I said, I'm looking forward to doing that. And like I said, shout out to Rock Solid. Salute to the generation, no doubt. I'm going to ask you a couple more questions. We're going to end the stream in a few because I know you want to see your heels play. I know you want to see your heels play. What percentage of women, angry man, that you feel are wife ready? What percentage of women do you feel that are wife ready? What percentage?
Just from their upbringing without any outside influence, I'd say probably, I'd say probably 10, maybe 15%.
Everybody said the same thing, man. I did a show earlier about Will Smith being dethroned. I asked most brothers ranged anywhere from less than 10% to around about 10% to a little bit, maybe the highest was around about 20%. And they said they were not only not wife ready, but not wife worthy. And, you know, I keep telling men over and over again, you know, women got a right to say no. Women take the offer sheet off the table all the time. And see, I keep telling men, angry man, that men are the prize catchers. They are the prize catchers. Men are the prize catchers. They determine if a woman is worthy to be wife ready. They determine if a woman is worthy to come into their life. And so men don't realize how much power that they have, angry man. But so many have been conditioned to defer power in relationships to the point that they are broken. What's your take on that? And then we're going to talk about solutions. And then we're going to end the stream.
Oh, they're always deferring power. Even, and it's so bad that when you say defer power, a lot of times they think it's something big, and it's not. It's little things. A lot of times it's little things over time, because, you know, I think you mentioned this earlier, how women can wear you down. It's just like waves crashing on a beach. It's eroding you over time. It's little things. Like, I always use the example of the trash, right? So, you know, you might come in the house, you know, or better yet, I'll use my uncle as an example. So my uncle worked for you.
All right, guys. So that's that part. And I'm going to finish playing this part by Coach Greg Adams real quick. And then, guys, I'm going to drop the link and we can have a brief conversation and talk about solutions as it relates to the delusion of pariah of modern thinking and the delusional pathologies of modern thinking, something many men are trying to get away from.
Samuel's anti-red pill, she's probably anti just about everything, right? Which I don't blame her. I'm not criticizing her, but she was anti-Hotep. She was kicking ass in this particular stream. Let's listen.
Hey, I'm gonna need you niggas to stop. It's too early in the morning for this shit, y'all. Like, I'm so weak. These niggas, y'all, I'm telling y'all black women, y'all need to pay attention. These niggas are doing.
And guys, please forgive me for the language. I do not condone the use of the N-word, but sadly, many in our community think that GG with the A is okay. But I don't condone it. But for the sake of education, guys, be mature and see it for what it is. Viewer discretion is advised.
Everything they fucking can to try to bring us back to Blackistan.
Okay,
these Hebrew nigga-lights. They, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was Sheba. Sheba went on my community tab post, and she said that fucking maker who did that attack over there in Brooklyn, the subway attack, they said that he was a fucking red pill bitch nigga. He was a fucking Hebrew nigga-light. She said he followed Kitten Hills and some more people. I forgot. I got to go back and find it. But yes, y'all, this is why they keep talking about.
And see, guys, anytime when men in these spaces do something contrary to societal standards, they will castigate and put a warning label. I'm going to do a show tomorrow, so get tuned for that because it's going to be a classic. But they put a warning label on anytime these black male content creators, black and white, begin to speak on more important issues with masculinity. They'll say that the reason why Frank James did what he did is because they listened to Coach Greg Adams. They listened to the white brother, Bella Batchelor. They listened to Kevin Samuels. They listened to Minister Jap. They listened to the Angry Man, or they listen to Tommy Sotomayor. And what they do, they encapsulate any negative things that are associated with violence with black male spaces. And this here, guys, is proof and pudding to what I'm talking about. Keep listening.
They're trying to bring this pro-black shit back. They're trying to be like fake woke. They're talking about black love. Pay attention to what's going on. And I know y'all, y'all feel like when we're divested, no. I'm telling you, pay attention to what's going on, because I guess I don't know. Are these niggas really, really aware of the divestment movement? Because the way these niggas be talking, I don't know. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. Well, I'm gonna just say for the skeptics, let's just say that. Pay attention to how these niggas move. Because I'm telling you, when these niggas was dating white bitches and dro, when they was messing with non-black women, when they was having all these biracial kids, they weren't preaching none of this shit, y'all. But now that they don't sing that, well, you know, the preferences and exoticals, yeah, they hate my ass too, because apparently they didn't fall for our fucking tricks and shit. So now they feel like, well, damn, who the fuck can we manipulate now? They have nowhere to go. So they're trying to come back to Blackistan and they're trying to bring black women back. But bitch, nigga, we're not coming back. Fuck you, eight. What don't y'all understand? Like, I swear to God, they are the most hard-headed niggas on the planet. We keep constantly telling y'all that we don't fuck with y'all. We don't like y'all. Like, stop coming on the internet crying. We don't care. Like,
but imagine if men use the B word incessantly. You guys hear the level of disrespect from this foolish hyena. You guys hear it. And, you know, I get so upset when I don't get upset. I don't even care anymore. But I just want you guys, it's also the rational women, to hear how some of your sisters are betraying and more or less overgeneralizing black men. You guys see the evidence in the forefront.
we're not coming back, bitch. Come back to what? You niggas don't have shit. I don't get this shit, y'all.
Well,
and based on what she said, Tichina Arnold went full mammy, black men crying on the internet again. And you guys see the level of disdain, but also the level of mental illness. And once again, guys, the city must burn before there can be any form of revival.
That was interesting. It's been so long that I've been to the community. I haven't been to the community in so long. My God. Woo! Martin Luther Lee is here. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Man almighty. I tell you. But if that wasn't warning enough, guys, I don't know what to tell you, man. I mean, it's done. It's done on a grand scale for most people. So I feel for you guys. I feel for the men. There's some men in this manosphere too that I will occasionally listen to, and we got to do this and we got to do that. Yeah, my God. I mean, there's nothing. You got some work to do. As you can see, the agendas that stand ahead of you, the black women, they're separate from you. It's quite clear that there's a fracture between black men who are LGBTQ and black men who are not. There's something there. You're going to be called the phobic men. There's going to be political issues. If you met with Donald Trump or any Republican, you're done there. They're not going to listen to you. If you're masculine, if you want traditional masculinity, you're out. If you want to lead your home, you're out. Guys, what is going to happen here? It's pretty tough.
And that's why I said, guys, you have to save yourself. You have to protect your inner sanctum as a man, because if she's not willing to adhere and respect you as a man, do not waste your time. Do not cast your pearl to swine. And I'm not calling women swine, but that's man or woman. Swine is a euphemism to something unclean. And this woman has unclean thoughts and her actions are very unclean. So do not cast your pearl to swine, men or women, but in particular, this crazy woman. And focus on yourself, love yourself, do what's best for you. And if you have to, travel abroad and, play the odds and getting the type of woman that you want. Not saying that women abroad don't have issues, not saying that they won't try to run game as well. But the odds are greater, guys, for the single men that are listening abroad than they are here in this cesspool called America.
Tough dynamic. And I don't know what's going on for you to want to do that. It's time to go. It's time to go for a lot of you men. Shout out to Rich Black Love in the building. Thank you for becoming a member. Did you say anything? He did not say anything, but it might be time for a little shuffle.
I can do some shuffling too. Look out, man. What you gonna do? Look out, boys. It's coming through. Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Is there anyone here that probably wants to do well, that's not all at this particular point. I've laid down my case. Maybe, I did cherry pick. I took I didn't even dig deep into videos. I basically pulled up the first 4 or 5 videos that were up front, and I got these videos as a response. Then I went diving a little bit deeper, and I was like, okay. But most of the videos sound just like that. And I'm like, guys, what are you standing up and fighting for at this point? Man, you better go get your passport, go save yourself, go be a free agent. All right, shout out to Speaking My Mind. He says, to the chopper, he out. Triggerverse, why save the community? If you have a kid with another race, they would be considered black anyway. Literally the one drop rule. They're considered black until, all right, there's always a chance for them to wriggle out of the one drop rule when it's convenient, right? When it's convenient. So unfortunately for mixed race kids, and I have kids that are mixed race, there's a lot of mixed race kids here also contributing to the percentages of people who are considered black or not. Unfortunately for them, sometimes they can get treated as less than, because they are mixed. When it's convenient, though, but when it's not convenient, then they are. When it's not convenient, they aren't. All right, Freddie Frappuccino, harems are the future. Harems are the future, but they are the past too. We've not only been living monogamy for probably less than 2,000 years. We've only been in this monogamy thing for less than 2,000 years, maybe even less than that, to be fair. Maybe 500, maybe 700 and 800 years monogamy. And even then, the elites, the clergy, the kings, the people, the leaders, the political leaders, these people were not monogamous at all. Many of them were LBGT. Many of them had harems. Many of them had concubines. Only the peasants were fed monogamy to keep your ass at bay. Hence any guy that acts out, they then automatically associate him with incel or red pill, meaning guys that are frustrated about the sexual marketplace. Again, this is why I always tell you, go get you a couple of fistful of 20s.
I got money.
And go get your nut. I don't know why you guys keep fighting this. You guys want women's soul. You want them to love you. They don't love you, bro. And they probably really never did. That's a fantasy in your mind. Some hopeless romantics do love men. But guys, I want you to remember, they don't love you like that. You want them to love you, and I need a girl who's mine, all mine. Dude, that don't exist. Go get you a couple of dollars. Go to the Jack Shack, get you a nut, let a girl rub all on your fat tummy and make you feel good, and dip on out of there, bruh. But you want you want to work your way for her to part her legs and open up like a flower. I'm tired of you people. I'm really tired of you people. And this is what's going to lead to your frustration. You're leading to your frustration because you can't find women to love you the way you want them to love you. They don't got to love you like that, man. Monogamy over. They've been walking away from the old world, which is the old world to us, but it was the new world. They've been walking away from it like crazy.
And sadly, some of you guys are still operating on nebulous thinking and living in the past. So many men are still living in the past, thinking that, some of these modern women are sugar and spice and everything nice. It's hard to find traditional women that genuinely love a man for him being himself. If she's just not attracted to you as a man, she gonna more or less tolerate you and use you for resources.
Do y'all see women? Do y'all see women running to men? Do y'all see them? You see how they treat you out here in this world. And ladies, I ain't mad at you. Go get your bag. Go get your handbag, your Birkin bag, your Louis bag. I don't care what. Guys, always have to understand. Women, I don't care what you're doing. You know what I mean? Go do you. All I need you to do is show up.
I got money.
Okay? I don't need you to love me. I don't need you to trust me. All I need to do is find out where the sorority house is.
I got money.
And yes, you can get a fistful of 20s out of this. I don't care. Go do it. Go spend it on what you want. I don't care. Go shopping. All right. But people want, you guys got this thing. No, I want to do it the honorable, the moral way, the way of the Lord. Okay, go ahead. Jesus Christ. Oh my goodness. And then what? You get frustrated, you get mad, you get enraged at women, you snap at women. Why are you snapping at them? Let them do what they do. We need to bring them back to the old ways. What old ways? Okay, what old ways are women coming back to? Just ask yourself. They want no parts of it. They want no parts of it. All right. So let them be in harems. It's the most natural way of relationships and concubines. They've been choosing to do this for centuries, bro. They've been choosing to do this for centuries. And what it's doing now is, and you cannot deny it, we are not anywhere close to monogamous relationships. Even people that are in affairs, in marriages having affairs at almost a 30, 40, 50% clip. All right. So people who are under monogamy are cheating. Then what's happening is they're actually going towards the top producing men. And in our society, that percentage reflects about 10 to 20% of men, which in any culture is a high percent for successful men. That's high compared to the past when there were harems and concubines. There were probably only 1% of men that were considered this. Anybody related to the king or the queen. So now there at least are more men that are able to have harems and concubines. And most successful men, and we'll get to the women, most successful men, you could easily have a rotation if you had the time of 5 to 8 women in your harem or concubine. Easily, without an effort. You can have 5 to 8 women, which is your own personal concubine. It's your own personal harem. Now, we share in this harem now, so she'll fluctuate and go back and forth between other men. There's no eunuchs guarding her. So you don't have eunuchs guarding your harem anymore. But women are actually reporting to the HR. They're actually going towards the successful men and giving themselves to these men a lot easier.
And that's why I tell you guys, the ones that are average guys, are good men that work hard to make $50,000 a year, which is not bad money, by the way. Many will say that $50,000 is no money. That's a lie. $50,000 is about probably 40% of the population, or even 30. But see, guys, when you start loving yourself and seeing what your inherent worth is, you won't settle for mediocrity. You won't settle for modernized thought, and you will not allow these women to dishonor you and disrespect you as a man. Coach Greg Adams, I like many of his talking points, where I might not agree with 100% everything Coach Greg Adams says. I do agree with at least 90 to 95%, as many of his talking points are on point. He's a lot more logical than many of these men in these spaces.
Than your peasant ass. And this is the most natural way of our societies in the history of time that we've been in any empire. Any empire you go back, it has always been this. It has never been this monogamy fairy tale marriage myth that you guys are keep holding on to. You know why you keep holding up to it? Because you don't have to compete, and you think you get possession and ownership of a woman, and you get her for good, and you don't no longer have to work for her and all of that stuff. It's a lazy approach. So in my idea, it's a lazy approach, and you get rewarded just for being. Here I am. I'm a man. I get my own personal woman like everybody else. Nope. You got to compete, because the top men they have no problems having multiple women, even married men. Did you see the whole Magic Johnson thing and the whole Los Angeles Lakers 1980s thing? They have a movie that they're playing on Showtime, and the amount of women Magic Johnson alone was running through, and the amount of women are making themselves available to Magic. It was so bad that Magic, the other players were jealous of Magic, because when Magic showed up, they couldn't get the hoes they want. They were like, get the women now before Magic shows up, because once Magic shows up, the game's over. That's how society essentially works. And that's a microcosm. And so then.
All right, guys. All right. So as you guys see, it's time for you guys to save yourselves and to focus on what's more important, because modernized thinking has more or less sought to derail logic. And so, guys, I'm going to drop the link for the next 5 or 10 minutes, and then we're going to end this stream. It's been a good stream. Thank you to everyone that has donated. I got another powerful show on tomorrow called Warning, and you guys are going to love that one. But this is a part of the show, guys, where we come together and we congregate and we seek to find answers to the maladies that are impacting us in these modern times. You men saw the evidence. Now, what are you guys going to do with it? You guys have seen the evidence, and what are you guys going to do with it? But before we do that, this is something by Miss Moffat that more or less points out to the malady of modern women.
I hope that I can break this down to where it's understood. I feel like when Black women start to understand that the value of a Black man has nothing to do with money, relationships will get better. They'll be more solid. Because let's think about it, Black women. We don't want men to sit around and feel like the value of us is our vagina. So let's just be fair on both sides. We feel like we have so much more to offer than just vagina. And Black men have so much more to offer than money. I said what I said. And my name is Shalakemia.
All right, that was Shalakemia, one of the few that is part of the remnant. And this is the part of the show, guys, that we... This is the part of the show where we find solutions. All right, guys, what are the solutions to break the cognitive dissonance that currently impact us in these modern times? This has been a good show, and I'm going to drop the link for a few minutes, guys, and let you guys add. But this is the part of the show, guys, we find solutions because you guys are seeing the paradox of modernized thinking. So hit the call-in button, guys. At some point, I'm going to have it so that you guys can call in by telephone and share your misgrievance. So here's the link to the show. Shout out to Philip Williams. Philip Williams, peace and blessing to the TKC. I just escaped the hyena tonight. We want you to escape them hyenas. And the way you escape them hyenas, you gotta do this. This is the way you escape the hyenas. To fire to your mind to break that cognitive dissonance that you're dealing with and the mental distortions that are impacting you and so many men in these modernized times. So, guys, the link has been dropped. And what's up, my man Mel? How you doing, sir? I've seen you around.
How you doing? How you doing, brother? How's it going, y'all? How's everyone in the chat?
I'm doing pretty good, Mel. How you doing? So, how would you like to add to this conversation, Mel? And also, Philip, how would you guys like to add to the conversation?
The solution, man. That's what I like to hear. Solution based and stuff.
So, what are the solutions, Mel?
Well, I got a couple and everything. Let's start off with ourselves, gentlemen. Ask yourself this main important question, because this is something I need to enforce and stuff more and more. What is it do y'all feel y'all deserve? That's something men need to ask themselves and be unapologetic about it. That's something, we hear all the time what women feel like they deserve.
Right.
So men need to do the same thing.
I agree.
So what is it that y'all deserve and stuff? And then now that, after y'all answer that question, start enforcing it. Yourself. Say with some powerfulness and do the action of enforcing it. I'm not just saying what I deserve. I demand it. And I'm going to work at it. And I'm going to get it. I don't care who's going to shame me for it. I don't care. I work hard for what I got, and I'm going to get what I got. And that's something that's one of the best solutions, you know what I'm saying, that I have, for men need to ask themselves and start enforcing it. Because I think a lot of gentlemen, you know what I'm saying, they want to say, but it's like they get drawn back to it, trying to have that unrealistic mindset. No, start enforcing that with some confidence, some power. Yo, man, I deserve this. Yo, if I work hard, got myself in shape, I should be able to have a woman just as close as in shape as I am. I deserve that. Because that's what I want. That's the image. I have a specific image I want. I'm going to get it. Let no man, or even no woman too. No man or woman tell you what you don't deserve. You go get it. Because they feel like they don't want to deserve or try to shame you or fail for some. We ain't gotta fail for you. You know, definitely. And two, like, I think, like we was all saying, I think we were saying earlier, like, you gotta accept things for what it is. Like that lady that, that Vesta chick and everything. You think I got offended what she said? No, it don't bother me.
Don't bother me at all.
Exactly, because you know how I feel. One, I don't listen to females like that. Two, she don't own my penis. Just like I don't own her vagina. So that being done to say, you know what? Go and find your happiness. I ain't worrying about you. I'm going to go and find mine. Even if it's someone outside my race. I don't have to throw it in your face the way y'all do. But, yo, that's I encourage them. Like, yo, you feel that way about us? Then go outside and find someone's happy for you. Don't bother me talking about you so much. Word. I'm going to focus on the ladies that feel like they want my presence. No matter what ethnicity or race she is. I ain't got nothing to prove. They got something to prove, but I don't. I want my peace.
Right.
I'm going to go get it. So, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's how red pill I am and everything. Yeah, like, yo, I accept things for what they are, their nature, whatever. Yeah, that don't bother me. Right. But some guys that still Kobe to complain so damn much, it's either two things. They don't want to put the work to do it, or they keep feeling like they can't do it and stuff. It could be done. Put the work in and do it. I don't follow give up mindset, period, like that. No. Like, yo, that's the whole point of this space. So you can reboot, re-strategize, and get back in the game, man. You know?
No doubt.
We'll pass the mic to brother in the green hat. I don't know his name, got the thing covered.
No doubt, no doubt. My man Philip, hold tight before I bring Philip on. Shout out to my man D for once again for that $5 super sticker. Thank you, D. And Clinician D said that identify and create a network of a middle class blacks that can collaborate with one another and build a code or designate. A code or designate. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a very valid point. So, Phil, how would you like to add to the conversation, brother? And what are the solutions moving forward? Because it appears, Phil, that modernized mania is more or less trying to defraud logical thinking. So what are the solutions? Go ahead, Phil. What are the solutions, brother? Can you hear me, Phil?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you perfect. So I said that modernized thinking or modernized mania appears to be the antithesis to logical thinking. What are the solutions moving forward?
First and foremost, I want to say good evening to everybody viewing the show. Please understand that we as a race are at a very crucial crossroads right now, where the indoctrination of the lost value system has been implemented and is being passed on, let's just say strictly by females. The solution, truly, everybody seek therapy. Try to heal yourselves from your past transgressions that you did. Heal yourself from transgressions that's been pushed on you, to be able to keep yourself elevated. And first and foremost, believe in the higher power and love yourself.
Right.
Because with that alone, that will show you who is really there and who is just there for, let's say, material gain. The solution, you know, they say that you need to go to Thailand and stuff like that. You know, I'm in New York. There's plenty of eligible women in New York. But there's also a more pressing sort of female in New York that believes that she is more man than the man can be.
Right.
This has been indoctrinated through feminism, through equal rights, and through the specific premise of if you go out and earn your own, that qualifies you like everybody else. And men and women are not the same. Women are the insight that the man needs. The man is the foresight that the woman should have. I made a statement earlier that I escaped the hyena. I can't really go into the story because we're on the show. It would take a little bit too long. But suffice it to say, when the woman asked me to leave and I went to leave, she actually recaptured my property and locked it in her house. I had to call the police and actually get a DV case today put up against her because she wanted me to leave, but she kept my property. This is the oxymoron that we deal with women every day, of that type of mentality, that they want to go and say that they want a man, but they only want a man under conditions.
Right.
They say they want a man, but they want a man to be the service dog or the serviceman to them more than actually be the leader. Sorry to say it, women, the leader that will guide them to a more enlightened state, to a more peaceful environment. And I think I'll finish with that, TKC. Thank you.
Well, I'll say this, man. I'm glad you got out of that malady. What men are doing, Philip, when they go abroad to Brazil and Thailand, what they're saying, there might be women like in your city in New York, but are they traditional wife-ready women? They could be a quantity of decent women, but I think a lot of men, Philip, especially the brothers from the South, are looking for traditional wife-ready women.
Yes, sir.
And many, when you live in liberal cities, liberal states like New York and liberal states like California, a lot of times those women don't believe in that. Like the situation you had tonight, this woman is supposed to respect you and honor you, but she was trying to hem you up in something that could have cost you your job and also cost you jail time. So, you're from New York. What percentage of women in New York, in your opinion, are wife-ready and wife-worthy? And are traditional?
Right. There are women in New York that are traditional. I know some personally, but let's just say like that. Unfortunately, they are taken. So it is a percentage of available traditional women that will follow as long as they know that the man has a plan. And I'm saying this on the air, I need to do a better vetting process. A better vetting process I need to do. I allow too many chances. And like the young man said earlier, hail to you, young man, for giving that up. I just did that. I didn't stay purposeful. I didn't stay true to what I intended and what I said. By giving more chances, I actually ended up creating more problems for myself than just ghosting and go ahead and live my life.
Right. So give me a percentage of the ones. Give me a numerical percentage.
I go 1%. Straight away, 1%.
I'm from New York also too, so I'm from New York also too. So
Philip said 1%.
Yeah, he's speaking facts right there. It's a low. It's definitely a low number. That type of woman in New York.
Well, Phil, the guys, because I guess the guys were thinking you said they're plenty eligible. 1% ain't what people putting the work and the time in.
Well, it's like a needle in the haystack, brother. That's what we're dealing with now. It's unfortunate, and you know that, TKC. It's a needle in the haystack. If you go to another state and it's eligible traditional women, let me just say this, because most women say that they're traditional, but when you present yourself as the man that you know you are, they tend to either get scared, get defensive, be elusive, or we come with the condescending language and plus sign language to diminish the character and the foundation of that man's, let's just say, confidence. When you deal with a woman and you invest in a woman, you actually are presenting yourself and laying down to her, not submitting to her, laying down to her, because she should be the insight that you need when you come home to get comfort and peace.
Right.
Women do not do that now. Women will listen to what you say, and when they turn around and don't get what they want, don't hear what they want, it ain't presented the way that they want it, they will throw everything that you presented to them, in fairness, back in your face. Right. That is the biggest form of sign language that women can use.
What did you guys think about Tichina Arnold advocating for men and emasculation, and what does that say about our culture where so many came against her and attacked her, Philip? And then I'm going to go to Mel, and then I'm going to end the stream.
It's just really, really, let's just say vicious. And women's analogy of life, of their journey, of men and relationships. And unfortunately, even a good mother that taught their daughter to be traditional The traditional female has to fight every day when she go outside in order not to succumb to the bio-co-tyrons that are definitely attacking her,
right?
As well as what we deal with as men. See, we as men, we already adjust and we understand. We know what the standard is. Once we understand, we know how to treat it accordingly. Unfortunately, women don't have that same ability, but they claim that they do. And when you present your case to them, they either tell you you're diminishing them, you're pointing something out, so now you're making them feel bad, which is the shaming tactic, the victim mentality. So if you turn around and say, oh, no, I'm not doing that, baby, but, you understand, I got to talk to you and let you know some things that you need to adjust. They'll say, well, I'll adjust, but that's never going to happen. Because as long as there's comfortability, as long as there's complacency, there's going to be contempt.
Right. What's your take on the Tichina Arnold situation, Mel? And also, was Cam Newton wrong in what he said?
Oh, no, she was right. I mean, yeah, he was right, definitely. By the way, you pronounce her name wrong, right? Pronounced Tichina.
I'm sorry. All right. What I said, Tichina?
Tichina, yeah.
I'm sorry, man. I know I said Tatiana earlier. Tichina Arnold. Okay.
Yeah, that's a good sister. She spoke up well. She now sees the demon that was all around her, and she's trying to purge herself. And the gynocracy, right? They don't want that.
Right.
She is a public figure. So defamation of character would be the first thing they would try to do with any individual, especially a celebrity. Hail to that sister, though, for actually saying something that was legitimately fair, universally fair. It's not necessarily for men. This is what women get triggered about. When they hear a woman so-called defend a man or talk up for a man, they say, well, what's wrong with her? No, she's talking about what's universally fair. They forgot what the universe laws are. They went to this societal indoctrination, civilization, and now they vest all their money, all their life, all their energy, and they're lost. You cannot believe how many of these hyenas and chameleons are really lost. I'm not going to talk no personal issues, but most women that are like that, their house isn't kept.
Oh, I believe that.
You want to know what's funny about it, though? Despite even in her home romance life or her marriages that failed, she still has hope and wants to try a new way. And there'll be outside forces that will shame her, make fun of her, or even try to draw her back in, like, are you crazy? And it will become from both sides. We just seen that with men, women, and everything. I was watching a video from another YouTuber friend of mine and everything, and she told her story. I've heard it plenty of times, but she was critiquing about the other two YouTubers who did a video on her about her story, about how she was, her first marriage, didn't work out, but she never talked negative about her ex-husband. She just realized, he was supposed to be and everything. He was young and everything, but she's not gonna talk down on him. That doesn't work out in that way. She went and got help in therapy before that, with because of a trauma she had.
Why so?
Everything, and now she's with the man she actually wanted, and she's in a happy marriage. Just got married recently. Shout out to you, Ali, and stuff. Exactly. And you know what really pissed me off? When she was critiquing the video of what they were critiquing about her, they was making fun of her, talking about she's a chameleon, pick me, or and they even make fun of her trauma, twisting in her words that wasn't even the true reason why she actually went to therapy on her trauma. And you know what's funny though? What pissed me off even worse? It wasn't just they had a female on there also too. For that video that was criticizing her. That female didn't piss me off because I'm kind of immune to that now because I know how chicks are. But it pissed me off because of the two other dudes that was making, laughing up also too at her. I was so cringeworthy, and this is the sad thing about it. But what's going on right now? We got dudes assigning females, like this, talking down on another woman that actually trying to seek help and everything, and so she can have a better outcome. Tell the woman that way, and it pissed me off even worse. And it's sad. And we see that what's going on online with no Sister Tichina. Like, yeah, like her, like she's saying that's not looking right. And you got both men and women. You can even be gay or straight, both down on her. And so, what's he saying? I think it's not genuine because you got a couple other comedians. Yes, they are some out there, but it's not in large numbers. But this is how dysfunctional we have gotten so far that way that you know what? We don't know who's genuine or who actually is. And when we actually see, you know what? You got to give her a chance to prove herself wrong if she's actually not genuine, but you already jumped to conclusions because that's how far we going.
Right. I agree, unfortunately. Let me ask you this question, Philip, and we're going to end off in a minute. But have modernized thinking caused you to have apathy? And how's that apathy impacted your mental health overall?
Well, TKC, let me say this. It maybe look like small shoulders, but I can hold a lot. So let's just say that my empathy has never wavered. What I just experienced, I have no hard will or ill will against the other individual or myself. I merely, as a man, learn the lessons that I learned and know how to treat things accordingly after that. Now, back to my vetting process, what I say is I needed to vet better because I've already seen the warning signs. It wasn't like I was caught up or I needed that or I couldn't do anything else. I was really trying to give a chance here because, again, unfortunately, I was told by the mouth of someone else that they were more than willing to adjust and to change their lifestyle because the lifestyle that they had is really detrimental to them, is not providing anything. So I tried to stay to see, like the man said, to see if it's workable. But once you get to the point where you're actually cutting a man off when he's talking, not giving advice, just talking in conversation, when you come and you make condescending statements, and then you make statements like you had to go and have behavioral teaching and everything like that. And then I was, whoa, like, okay, all right. So in the past 5 days, I've really, like men do, we wean ourselves off of that, So when it got to the day, I actually got called to come down there to try to discuss things out. I already had it in my mind that no matter what we were saying, I was already done. But I was trying to give another human being a fair shot to represent themselves. It didn't work out that way. I ended up in their den so they could act like the lion or whatever they think that they are. And when I went to leave, instead of letting me leave, you try to hold my property. So that in itself lets me know that the mental capacity of that particular woman is scared, is not sure of herself or loves herself, and has to inflict pain on any individual that will exit her life because as narcissists go, they don't get left, they leave you. I'll end with that.
Right, no doubt. But Gregory, a lot of things are going on, and to the 43 that are watching, guys, I got a good show for tomorrow, and it's going to talk about a thinking era called scapegoatism and also catastrophizing. You guys know recently Frank James was accosted, the subway killer in New York. But what many are trying to do, guys, they're trying to accost any talking points in male spaces as arbiters of hate crimes. So I need you guys to do me a favor for tomorrow. I need all 43 people, once this show ends, to go hit the like button for tomorrow. When you guys hit the like button, it tells the algorithm that the show is going to be a good show. It helps my channel grow. So if you guys will kindly hit the like button for the show tomorrow, that'll get the message out as a start, the chain reaction for the algorithm, and it'll push the video out, because I want guys to hear and more or less talk about this show tomorrow, because the Frank James fiasco could end up being a black eye to spaces where men seek to gain clarity and seek to gain power in these very turbulent times. Mel, did you like to add anything, man? If not, we're going to sign off because this has been a good show as we talk about modernized thinking and modernized mania, and how modernized thinking and modernized mania is the antithesis to logical thinking. Because what was logical years ago now is no longer logical. people actually rebuke logic for the sake of more or less modernized thinking. So do you have anything else to share, Mel? And now I'm going to sign off, brother.
Yeah. I mean, trust me, that dude in Brooklyn and everything, man, sick cycle and everything. But you see how they trying to use this as even a man for hating woman. I mean, some of the videos I saw he did before this, they didn't say nothing about him hating women. He was mostly speaking from a racist point of view. From like he wanted to see black people perspective, but he ain't like how other people, other races doing better than his own people. So it's like how that switched from that. So now he's hating women and stuff like that. Like,
well, that's what always happens. But anyway,
this is what.
Go ahead.
How far we going?
You said what?
A man do some crazy cycle.
Oh yeah, it's
definitely much.
Yeah,
then
you're
again,
you lagging a little bit, Mel.
Women doing cycle mess and stuff. We seen plenty of videos of women or something like that. Oh, sorry, I'm still lagging.
Yeah, you're lagging. Yeah, you're lagging, man. Yeah, you're talking, but you're lagging. But anyway,
yeah,
guys, guys, go hit the like button for tomorrow. When you guys hit the like button, hit 1. Have you guys that I'm talking to? Have you guys hit the like button yet? If not, go hit the like button for the show tomorrow, guys. But go ahead, Philip. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah. As always, I will be hitting the like button. I will be sharing this on my IG and my Facebook. As always, brother. You know, I'm pumping it. If you ask me to pump it, I'm gonna pump it. I don't have no recourse. There's no recourse that can hit me that's gonna affect me. You know, I plot my own path. So if they want to come with the heat, they gonna understand it's a black Eminem over here, baby. They better understand. They better be ready. It's chess. It ain't checkers over here. So I just want to thank everybody that's viewing this show. Please understand that healing is the best thing that you could do in your life. Please understand, take a time to take a little walk outside, sit down on the bench by yourself, get to the point where you could listen to your inner voice, because your inner voice is going to guide you exactly where you need to be. This is your inner voice between you and the higher power.
Right.
Do not base this thing on purely societal terms, because you will lose. You will lose yourself. You will lose your soul, you will lose your spirit, and you will be miserable in life, wondering what happened. Do not take that chance. You only have one life to live, family. I'm talking to everybody here viewing. You only got one life to live. Live it to its fullest. If you feel like things aren't working out, politely say, okay, things ain't working out, and move on. Don't delay, because time is very precious. Thank you, TKC. Thank you, family. I appreciate y'all.
No doubt, man. I appreciate it, man. We're about to sign off, guys. We're about to sign off, Philip and Phil. Thank you, brother. I appreciate the Mel and Philip. So, guys, we're signing off. This has been another great stream, guys, and we seek to bring clarity and healing to the current times that we're living in. So, before we sign off, guys, make sure y'all hit that 1 button, the like button for the show on tomorrow. I want to get that show pumped out and also talk about the scapegoating that's impacting so many men. So, guys, we're about to sign off as we more or less use this commercial.
Are you a victim of brokenness and despair? A broken man is a hopeless man, and a hopeless man is a very dangerous man. Many times, many of you young men that are listening come from homes that are very toxic and very dysfunctional. And because of that, many of you have deferred your power in many ways, to the point it's led over into your social life, and many times led over into your relationships. If you guys are dealing with mental health pathologies, conscious and unconscious, come see me at kosherclinician@gmail.com. That's kosherclinician@gmail.com. It's important that you deal with your mental health in order to be a better person for yourself, your loved ones, and also your community. But because mental health is often stigmatized, many of you often suffer in silence. Don't be a victim in silence. And see me once again at kosherclinician@gmail.com. And I need you guys to remember this. If it ain't 7, it ain't kosher. If it ain't kosher, it ain't right. There are 7 steps that a man must go through in order to become an optimized male, and male mental health is one of those elements that's paramount to the functioning of a man. Be well.
Remember those days, those L's, I couldn't sleep right now. I get paid, vacay, I'm staying B-side. Breaking the blues over steak, I gotta eat right. You could be my peace sign. I don't need that energy around me. I just need sun, you're so cloudy. I wake up good, you're so grouchy. Please get from around me. When the truth don't work, you start telling lies. Thought you were down to ride, you weren't down to ride. Caught switching, you were picking sides. Don't blink, caught slipping like a slip and slide. I was shooting dice till I got a nosebleed. Money on the floor, can't get cold feet. Took an L, should've put it in the offering. Lord, forgive me for my sins, don't know of me. Scary thoughts, I got scary thoughts. Lost control, now I'm taking charge. Breaking bills, friends breaking off. You could be the youngest, I'm the dawn. Kiss the ring now. In the scene like GOT. Stay awake, don't sleep. Like Jon Snow, get R.I.P. Remember those days, those L's, I couldn't sleep right now. I get paid, vacay, I'm staying B-side. Breaking the blues over steak, I gotta eat right. You could be my peace sign. I don't need that energy around me. I just need sun, you're so cloudy. I wake up good, you're so grouchy. Please get from around me. Just me, myself, and I, my favorite threesome. The cars I drive by, I never lease them. They say if you can't beat them, then you join them. That's no option, I don't join, I always beat them. I was fake, it had to find me. Now I'm on beat, skating like I'm grinding. L hit me, said it's all about the timing. If you want the vision, get to spinning. My mama told me trust in God, it's never limits. Now I'm on the scoreboard, running up the digits. I put in work, you know I'm up to get it. Early bird gets the worm and the Yankee fitted. Like whoa, bags under my eyes and you know. Won't complain, I'm tired, I'm on go. For that grip, 10 toes till they swole. For that grip, 10 toes till they swole. Remember those days, those L's, I couldn't sleep right now. I get paid, vacay, I'm staying B-side. Breaking the blues over steak, I gotta eat right. You could be my peace sign. I don't need that energy around me. I just need sun, you're so cloudy. I wake up good, you're so grouchy. Please get from around me. I was starving, now I'm eating till my belly full. From up north, we get cold, you need a heavy coat. Scared to end up on a shirt before a centerfold. Devil on my back, target on me, belly too. Play for keys, don't tweet. It's not peace, don't speak. 24, no sleep. This is real, no tweet. My bros for life, can't break this link. Family on my side, baby stay around me. I don't want no combo, I want checks. I don't want the second, I want this. I'm all in my head, swear I'm a wreck. I've been moving like a hot mess. I don't want no combo, I want checks. I don't want the second, I want this. I'm all in my head, swear I'm a wreck. I've been moving like a hot mess. Want that combo, better know you'll need a check from me. Can pay to play, the sun still won't get a cent from me. I mix the fit up with the salt like it's a remedy. I mix it up inside the pot, watch it drip while it drop. Time to take it to the top. Chips all in the middle like it fall, no I won't flop. We gon' pop like a soda can top. To me this is nothing, on my bluff and I won't stop when I flex. I don't want no combo, I want checks. I want the checks, yeah. I don't want the second, I want best. I want best, yeah. By any means, that's a triple threat. That us is getting bigger, I might flex. I don't want no combo, I want checks. I don't want the second, I want best. I'm all in my head, swear I'm a wreck. I've been moving like a hot mess. I don't want no combo, I want checks. I don't want the second, I want best. I'm all in my head, swear I'm a wreck. I've been moving like a hot mess. I press the button and the doors go up. Whoa, that money clip is not a new, now looks like whoa. Whoa, I hit record it, drop, you can't ignore it. I'm transforming now these cars and planes, I'm always boarding. Just out touring down in Charlotte like I play for Hornets. When I'm performing, never boring, now you can't afford it. Champagne Perrier, finished frames on my face. Looking like I'm from the D. D's no Cartiers. Pockets deep, 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 bro. I can make it in my seat, bro. Do you, I'm doing me, bro. Making noise, use a beat, bro. Whoa, I press the button and the doors go off like, whoa. That money clip was not a new, now looks like, whoa. Upgrade her diamonds, now her girlfriends are like, whoa, 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 whoa. Neighborhood on the scene, neighborhood on the strip, neighborhood be the name, neighborhood no crib, neighborhood that's me, neighborhood that's Nick, neighborhood do the dance, neighborhood do the deal. Okay, thought I'd never make it like no way. I'm the real deal, no role play. My days off, that's no days. No, I hustle hard, young rose. E be the shooter, that's cold case. Bills on the deals, that's brose. Got no pay, yo, no say. Okay, this the news, tell them read it. Been the one since the fetus. Don't sleep on me, Tempur-Pedic. That's a no, no, no. Spending dope for no reason. Got a ball head, Mr. Cleaner. Heard the big bags overseas, then we gon' go, go, go. Whoa, I press the button and the doors go off like, whoa. That money clip was not a new, now looks like, whoa. Upgrade her diamonds, now her girlfriends are like, whoa, 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 whoa. I press the button and the doors go off like, whoa. That money clip was not a new, now looks like, whoa. Upgrade her diamonds, now her girlfriends are like, whoa, whoa, whoa. They know, 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 they know. Tunnel vision when I hit the holly. Working on that cause my mind is on an island. Told my babies I'll be homeless, so don't stay up. Breaks my heart to see them sad, so I won't wait up. Need it all that's mine, I need it now. I lost my patience the same week I lost my smile. My baby pressed me, said I'm acting like a child. I took some L's, can lie, that really brought me down. I'm so antisocial, but I guess it's type selective. Swear I'll make a change, but for now I just can't help it. Only trusting God in these scars that I've been dealt with. I'ma do my job, time to grind, time to know. They know, 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 they know. Pedal to the metal, they know. Gone and I won't let up, they know. I'm not so I'm fed up, they know. Say it for the record, they know. They know, they know, they know. Yeah, they know. Pedal to the metal, they know. I'm not so I'm fed up, they know. Why you never sign? You sign when you go live. Stuck inside that bubble, never ever go outside. You don't know you know computers, you're a tech guy. Back against the wall, you gon' fall or you gon' ride. I feel the pressure, foot to the pedal. My dogs, they fed up, my squad won't let up. Those sneakers CDG, hot on step on. My money yoga, the weight is stretch on. I change locations to change the weather. Know when that rain come, got my umbrella. And when my day come, my name gon' stay up. Yeah, I know, I know, I know. Pedal to the metal, they know. Gone and I won't let up, they know. I'm not so I'm fed up, they know. Say it for the record, they know. They know, they know, they know. Yeah, they know. Pedal to the metal, they know. I'm not so I'm fed up, they know.